Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. Ohio State football has 115 days to get ready for Ball State. Buckeyes will open the season Saturday, September 5th at Ohio Stadium. OSU hits the road for week 2 for a recently announced primetime showdown with likely top 5 Texas. ESPN says it'll be a 7:30 p.m. kick Saturday, September 12th. That's the second announced kick time this week after Fox put the game on November 28th in the big noon spot. For the basketball Buckeyes, Ohio State had its Big Ten opponents announced yesterday. OSU will have home and homes against Iowa, Penn State, and Michigan. Buckeyes will also have non-conference games against UConn, Kansas, and open the season playing BYU in Salt Lake City on November 2nd. The NFL is going to unveil their 2026 schedule tomorrow night. League's already announced several games, including a Week 9 matchup between the Bengals and Cardinals, Sunday, November 8th at Madrid's Bernabeu Stadium. This update is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union, voted best credit union for the past 8 years by CBUS Top Picks. Visit bmifcu.org to learn more.
Your morning just got more interesting. Distilled and barrel-picked for your listening pleasure. Bo Bishop, a local sports media legend. What William T. Sherman was to the Union Army, he is to Northern College football. A husband, a father, and middling youth sports coach. He's friends with Central Ohio sporting royalty.
I'm talking to Ohio State Athletic Director Ross Bjorken. Coach Day walking on with us right now. Good to see you, buddy. Good buddy Austin Ward. My good buddy Tim May, the Tim May Show. The great Doug Lavery's joining us.
Hi, everybody. Dom Barry here.
Oh, Reese came in and he handed me papers.
Yeah,
and then
rundown.
And then he said, "You see that button? That's the only button you need to worry about. Don't touch. There's 8,000 buttons in front of me." Oh, I didn't know what he was talking about.
The one that says on.
We blew the budget on this imaging, and only 2 guys answered our ad on Craigslist. Ryan Baker and Eric Reeser. Act accordingly. You're now listening to Bishop and Friends.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for over 75 years.
All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. I believe the technical term is we are loaded up on the program today. Coach Day was on with Josh Pate, had some very interesting comments about the Buckeye program and where everything sits there. High or lower comes your way at 10 o'clock. 10:30, Austin and Jake switch this week. So you get Austin at 10:30 this week. We'll run all these things by him. Little momentum, well, more than a little momentum for the 2014 playoff. Almost starting to feel like an inevitability. Coming up at 11 o'clock, it is your turn. A little, hey, guys, get your questions into the fellas at 971-BFS. Also do so in the YouTube chat. We will take those live coming up at 11 o'clock. And then our old buddy Dave Shedloski will join us to preview the PGA Championship, which starts tomorrow at Aronimink. I wasn't going to go here, but I did want to mention this right off the gate because it just popped in because we mentioned Dave. Also get your officially endorsed as well. It's a good one. I'm watching, I don't know the name. I think it's called Live From. I think it's Live From. I was looking for something to watch last night. Everybody had gone to bed, and on the Golf Channel, they do Live From fill in the blank. And it's Rich Lerner on there and Brandel Chambly, and I'm blanking on the guy, but he's from Ireland. And it might just be the best studio show going. And I understand it's certainly niche. Like it's certainly not for everybody that wants to sit down there and watch golf. But I was trying to get myself jacked up for the PGA Championship, and they had a spirited debate about the golf course and all the trees that had come out of it. And Chambly was making these impassioned pleas of when you take down trees, you make it easier for these guys. Like it works in some places, and it might be more aesthetically pleasing to some, but it's going to make it easier for some guys. And they had a very spirited conversation. Then right after that, they had the guy, this Gil Hans, who oversaw the remake of the course. They had him on, and he went hole by hole. And they had a drone, and he went hole by hole of all of the shots the guys are going to take. And I watched this show in the lead up to the Masters, and it's spectacular. I'm obviously going to pay attention to it in the lead up to the Memorial when we're out there in a couple of weeks. But just in terms of, like, do you want to know what's going on to get you set for a major? I don't know that there's anything better. I used to think for the longest, it's still probably inside the NBA, and it's still College Game Day. Those are the ones that rise up amongst the others, to me at least personally, but this one's damn good. And if you're just serious about wanting to know what's going to happen at a golf tournament, if you're like me and you're a casual kind of golf fan, I couldn't recommend it more highly enough. Even dip in for 20 minutes. Are you guys aware of this show?
I am not. I was looking at last time Aronimink had a U.S. Open. It was 1962. They haven't had anything of real note since 2020. It was the Women's PGA Championship. So I do think things like that are excellent ways to get casual and even diehard fans accustomed to what to look out for.
Oh, yeah.
What to, like, reading the menu before you go to a restaurant.
It's exactly
what to expect when you're expecting. Like, I don't know anything about this course. Well, here you go.
It was cool. And they, they did a total renovation to make it so that it was more playable for these guys. But even some of these courses, some of these holes, I mean, this is an old course. It's 1890s. Some of these holes are par fours, like 407. So these guys are going to bomb down there and then, hit a wedge in.
The Rich Lerner's really good.
He is
at what he does, whatever he does. And Brandel Chambly says some controversial things. He's like the new age Johnny Miller, except it seems like he's taken it a step further.
I think that's fair.
With some of the stuff he does. Paul McGinley, I believe, is the other guy.
He's great.
That's on there. And you would think, like the PGA Tour, if they want to get some more casuals involved, they would somehow promote this show a little better. Because wouldn't you be more invested in the PGA Championship if you've seen something like this and they've taken you through hole to hole? Maybe you're just not interested no matter what, but that's a great way to get people invested. And they're like, oh, if he's right here, he's going to do this. And it was so pretty interesting.
It was so cool. I probably watched I ended up watching for like 45 minutes. They did like a 10-minute history of like Philadelphia golf that Lerner voice that was just awesome. It was really great. So I'm a little bit more jacked up for that and looking forward to talk to Dave about the tournament and some of the comments about, because he and I have talked about this before when he was over at Oakmont with all the trees they took out there. And that's something that's happening. It's not happening. It's happened to a lot of places. They took them all out. Our club, they took a ton of them out. I think it's interesting how a membership would feel about it, because I think there's some that like the intimacy of the big tree-lined fairways, but just from a course health standpoint, you've got to have wind and you've got to have sun hitting the course, or it's not going to survive. So there's some of that's happening in the sport in a big way. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's interesting that you just said that, because I know my dad has been a member down at Foxfire for a few years, and they just did that down there, took out a bunch of trees because they had to save. They were losing grass, they were losing things because those trees had gotten so thick. There was just no airflow, and it wasn't healthy for the course anymore.
No, it's not. And courses don't dry out. And so, yeah, but it takes some getting used to when you're used to playing the tree line, and then all of a sudden they go away. Today, and I saw this because I follow a guy on social who was the technical advisor for a little movie called Top Gun. Today is the 40th, and they're re-releasing it, 40 years anniversary of Top Gun. And I was thinking about Top Gun. So my relationship to it, I remember going to my grandparents' house and spending the night at my grandparents' house so my mom and dad could go to the movie theater and watch it. That's how excited they were to actually go to the theater and see it, which they didn't do very often. I've seen it a lot, mostly, I think, on cable. Through the years, and anytime it was on, I'll pop in. It is certainly one of the movies I've seen the most in my life. But do you remember this, Reese? A couple of years ago, we were having a conversation about extinct IP, stuff that has gone away, and I was talking about things of my youth like Zorro or the Lone Ranger, even like Scooby-Doo, the Flintstones. Like the Flintstones are now probably known mostly for kids as a cereal. I don't even know if they have any point of reference on it, even to a certain extent like Bugs Bunny. Like, I don't even know if Bugs Bunny is around, if not for the Space Jam stuff. And I was thinking about that in regard to Top Gun. If they don't make Top Gun Maverick, does it just go away? Because there's a it's not on anymore. Kids don't watch. There's no cable. Kids aren't watching cable. I mean, there's at my house, but a lot of people aren't watching cable the way that they used to. This used to be on the Turners all the time, like in and out of basketball. You'd see Top Gun on. I made my kids a point to see it, but the only reason I made it a point to see it is because Maverick was coming out. And if Maverick didn't come out, I don't know. And now Maverick is on all the time. Like, it's on one of those paid tiers constantly. So if you still have the cable, it's there all the time. But that one you see a lot. I know you still haven't seen it yet. But I do wonder if not for Top Gun Maverick, would Top Gun have gone the way of the dodo bird?
Probably until 10 years from right now, they remake it. Because I was thinking about this the other day there's a new He-Man coming out.
Is it really?
And I haven't kept up on if they've done He-Man since the original cartoon show, where they had like the old school action figures that people collect all the time. And it feels like that a little bit, but even to a greater extent, I think, because to your point, I think Top Gun just goes away without Tom Cruise having to do another film. And I think that was his push for reopening cinema. Was to try to give the fans another Top Gun and give them that experience. I think starting today, some AMC theaters, maybe the one over at Lenox, are doing Top Gun and Top Gun Maverick. You can buy a ticket and go see both.
That's pretty cool. There you go, Reese. You can finally do it.
I got a thing.
See it on the big screen.
I'd love to, but today's busy.
I feel like I heard this yesterday.
Huh?
You're ready. You're ready, man. You're ready to go.
Ready to rain check.
All right. It's pretty damn good. It's pretty good. Yeah, Cruise was pretty smart with it. So they held Top Gun Maverick until COVID was over. They actually shot it, I think, in 2018, and it kind of sat in the can for like 2 years. It had probably the coolest trailer of the last 15 years. When you first saw the trailer for the first time, we're like, oh my God, they're doing it again. I went to obviously went opening weekend. I didn't go opening night like Bob did. I think I ended up going on a Thursday or Friday night and saw it in the IMAX for the first time. Tom Cruise came on and was like thanking theater goers from reading it. It was so awkward that he couldn't just remember it. He was reading from a script. It was so strange. He was like reading
Which is
from
like,
the
hey
script.
man, you're an actor.
Yeah. And he was just terrible acting. And then the other thing that was crazy is Nicole Kidman was on previously thanking you for like going to the theater still. So you had like all of that kind of baggage to it. But when it started, like the place gasped because it starts the same way as the one from 40 years ago does. And then at the end of it, there was a standing ovation. There was a standing ovation in the theater I was at the end of it. Like that's how it was received. And then it flipped everything. So, and it's probably the most influential IP to the United States Navy ever. Top Gun made kids want to be fighter pilots. I mean, hell, even NBC after seeing Maverick is like, man, I could go to Annapolis. I wouldn't mind doing that. I'm like, well, I'm not sure it's all like Glenn Powell, like being great at pool and having cool lines and playing beach volleyball. I'm guessing it's a little bit more of that, but I'd be very supportive of you. Yeah, I'll be very supportive of you if you want to try and be a fighter pilot, bud. But I think might be a little bit more grueling than that. So 40 years of Top Gun and running it back in theaters. So very, very cool. All right, coming up next, we get another kick time for the Buckeyes. Beamsy with a great line today in respect to this. We will get to that coming up next. We're off and running on a First Friday. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Guess which store is celebrating their 50th anniversary, and you'll get up to $180 off sets of Goodyear tires. Okay, here's a hint.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. There's a lot of window companies out there. If you need window replacement, I want you to go with my guys, the guys that I trust, Universal Windows Direct, because right now when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. And there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, 24 months with no payments and no interest and a $500 bonus off your home improvement project. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Confused as to what to do after an accident? Or perhaps your insurance company is making the repair process difficult to navigate? Call us at Capital Ford Collision Center, where we fix all makes and models. We will work with your insurance company so you don't have to. Visit CapitalFordColumbus.com today.
Common Man and Timmy. Voted America's dumbest show by Marconi voters. Common Man is a Columbus radio legend. And by legend, I mean it's a miracle he hasn't been fired yet. And Timmy is, well, Timmy will complain about anything and everything. And he kind of looks like a woman. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So there's that. Common Man and Timmy.
Sponsored by Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on The Fan.
As the saying goes, trust is earned, never given. When it comes to your roof, who you trust truly matters. At Newman Roofing, we're more than just a business. We're a local, family-owned company built on honesty, integrity, and hard work. From the very beginning, these core values have shaped the way we do business, ensuring a customer experience that's second to none. Our dedication to quality has earned us the trust of thousands of homeowners across Central Ohio. At Newman Roofing, excellence isn't just a word, it's our promise to you. From the moment we step foot on your doorstep to the final handshake, we strive to deliver an experience that keeps you calling back for more. Whether you need a roof repair or a full replacement, our team at Newman Roofing is here to protect what matters most. After all, when your name is on it, it just means more. So give us a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. Mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today, and a little bit cooler with highs into the upper 60s to low 70s, but we will have breezy winds and an isolated chance of showers. For tonight, mostly cloudy with our overnight lows in the 40s, and then for Thursday, mostly cloudy, turning sunny and cooler with highs in the mid to low 60s and breezy winds. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
During this 10-second promo, Rothman will lose money gambling on something.
People like you come here and blow the family nest egg that built this town.
Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan. After putting up with Tom Tiberi for a decade, the broadcast gods gave Bo these two. This is Bishop and Friends.
And join Common Man this Thursday night for a special edition of Common Man's Basement. You know the deal. It's Mike in his basement, hanging out, answering your questions live from the chat. Catch it Thursday night at 9, exclusively on the Fans YouTube channel, and presented by Lion's Den. On the way to school today. And this is, so I shut off their phones at a certain hour, and so they come back on at 7 o'clock. So they have like a 5-minute window to catch up on everything, or in their world, catch up on everything. And in this instance, I said Beamsy could do it on the way to school. Normally, no phones in the car. But I said, go ahead. You can take a look. So we're just getting going. And he goes, oh, Dad, did you see this? Ohio State, Texas is set for 7:30. And this does happen because his phone is off. And I'm just to the point now where I'm not reminding him that this is what I do anymore. Because obviously I'm well aware of when all these things are going to kick. But I'm just like, oh, that's great. And I said, that'll be fun. That'll be a cool atmosphere, won't it? And he goes, that's at the Shoe, right? And I said, no, that's in Austin. And he goes, oh, well, that's different. That sucks.
Sure is.
Sure does. Yeah. Tell me about it, brother. You got to come on the show. We talk about this all the time, pal.
You said it last year. We're like, wow, this is going to be great. Ohio State, Texas, Buckeyes will host the Longhorns for the first time in a long time. And it's a big nooner. And then wait till next year when they do it under the lights in Austin. It'll be beautiful.
Yeah. They put something, I guess we talked about this to a certain extent last week when I was talking about the big noon stuff, and they put a clip up of us kind of ranting about it. I think Isaiah was in maybe for you. It might have been last Thursday or Friday, and they put it up on the Fan social channels and kind of went on just a little bit of a rant. And this isn't it's not new. This isn't reinventing the wheel, but the just realization that every big game you play on campus from now until this contract is up is going to be noon, and the return visit is going to be at night. So this has happened with Texas. This is happening with the Alabama game. When that game is played, it'll be noon here. It'll be night down there. It's going to happen with Georgia. It'll be noon here, and it'll be night down there, provided that game stays on the schedule. And it's just a bitter pill that you got to swallow around here for a while. And it's what the money's for, but it doesn't make it any better. And there's no real way around it, save for the big I mean, I'm at least somewhat optimistic that potentially at some point one of these things can be something else, just from the standpoint of the conversation they had last year that Ross had with Fox. And they did. Ross tried. I give Fox some credit in that they were open to it. They're never going to give it up. It's their second most valuable entity to the Ohio State-Michigan game. But they were at least open to trying to acquiesce and play on a Friday night, or what they were really hoping for was a Sunday night leading into Labor Day. So if you're going to try to do that now, and you know the lessons that you learned from last time around, in regard to the Alabama game in a couple of years, in regard to the Georgia game that's going to be here a couple of years after that, I would say get to work on that now. Like, if you want that, first of all, it probably needs to be the opener. Ohio State, Alabama probably needs to be the opener. That's your best chance to move it. If they move the calendar up to week 1, week 0, then you could have it be week 2, which would be Labor Day weekend. You could certainly do that then. But I would say get planning on it, because otherwise this is what it's going to be.
Yeah, I think the bump up from week 1 to week 0, I think that's your best shot at this, because you've got, a school like Texas, who I think was the lone dissenter of the parties involved last year, is like, no, we're not giving that up. No, we're not moving to Sunday or Friday. The game's on Saturday. We'll see you in Columbus at noon.
What was the great quote from the athletic director, who was like, we don't want to give up that extra day of preparation for their week 2 game, and they were playing like Sam Houston State or somebody?
Yep.
Jeez.
Really good. I mean, if you're Texas,
cold-blooded,
you completely understand.
Yes.
The game's scheduled. We're not trying to be there any extra days. And, yeah, the opponent's laughable, but they don't want to stick around in Columbus any longer than they have to.
No.
I think for all the talk of the college football calendar, that's your best hope of having those marquee non-conference games put where you would like to have them, and that's at night in a big game environment. I think for Big Noon and the fatigue for Ohio State fans there, it's got to come from Michigan or Penn State. You got to get your act together. You got to get it together quickly. Not this year, you're stuck. Next year, there could be hope.
It'll also, just to piggyback on that, because this is something we've talked about, you added 4 teams that can't play Big Noon at home. So it actually makes it more difficult on the Buckeyes when the 4 West Coast teams can't play at noon at home. So that makes it even harder. So they have to go at 3:30 and 7:30. They have to go in those spots. And obviously USC and Oregon and even Washington, UCLA to a certain extent are marquee brands. The thing that will be key is if in this next round of expansion, and I'm sure it's going to head south, when there is that next round of expansion to the Big Ten and they head into that southern corridor, they have to make sure that the schools that they take from down there can carry the weight. If I'm Bjork, that they can carry some of the weight and the load of Big Ten. And hell, maybe that's Notre Dame. I don't know if you guys saw the comments, the ACC getting a little fed up with Notre Dame and all of their nonsense. Notre Dame could help you in a noon window. I think Florida State could help you in a noon window. I think Clemson could help you in a noon window. I know Miami could help you in a noon window. There are programs down there that North Carolina, you could throw them in a noon window. At least it would look pretty with the color scheme. There are some programs down there, and I think it should be a factor of consideration for the schools up here, and especially for Ohio State, to share the burden of that a little bit.
And if you're a fan of Ohio State and you are not a fan of the Big Noon window, you want Matt Campbell and Penn State to be really good. You want Kyle Whittingham to get Michigan back to prominence, because you saw Fox took Michigan, Oklahoma. Those are 2 big brands. You want Kurt Signetti in Indiana to continue this success and to get a following. And even though Oregon can't host, you want Oregon and USC and Washington. You want those teams to be good, so when they travel east and they play Penn State or Michigan or Indiana, that they'll be enticing enough that maybe Fox will bite on those and it will help you out.
Yes. Yeah, it'd be nice if Nebraska would have been good because they could probably carry a noon window. 20 years ago, they could carry a noon window. If you'd have added Oklahoma and Texas, both of those schools could carry a noon window. You just don't have enough of them. And the thing you're combating is, and I saw this because when we were down in Tallahassee and got that facility tour at Florida State and was blown away by what I saw down there, one of the things they built this new entryway that they built it kind of like a red carpet for the football team and the fans and all of it. And the thing that it says in giant letters is, it's Saturday night at Doak. So, and their stadium's Doak Campbell Stadium. So all of these SEC Southern schools, they are selling Saturday night in the South. That's what they're selling, is that imagery. So how do you combat that? Well, in this contract, you can't. But it's something that I'm sure is on their mind a little bit. College game day, of course, will be at Ohio State and Texas on that day. They will start the season again. This is a Saturday night in the South. They'll start the season in Baton Rouge for Clemson at LSU on Saturday. Up against it a little bit, but go ahead, Bake.
I was just going to say, LSU and Clemson, who knows what that will be. Mm-hmm. It was a pretty good game last year to start. Then week 3, I can't wait for that game. LSU, Ole Miss.
What the hell is, Kiffin, what are we doing?
He's being Lane Kiffin. This is Lane Kiffin.
This
is who he is.
I like him, but this was 8,000 steps too far. Like just to play the racial component.
So who would have the more egregious take? Lane Kiffin or Steve Sarkisian?
I think it's Kiffin.
Yeah.
Because that is an incredibly hard topic down there anyway. And he lived it and sold it and did all of those things in Oxford, and Oxford rehabilitated him to the point where he could get the job at LSU.
Yeah.
And the circumstances around him leaving, I don't blame him for, because I can't blame somebody for wanting to take a better job for more money. Like, who can begrudge somebody that? It's really the calendar's fault, not his. If he wanted to move on, he should have freedom to move on, just as players should have freedom to move on. But I thought that was a well below the belt shot at Ole Miss in a big way. And it positions him like he's some sort of civil rights leader. Like, give me a break, man. Like, come on.
Sounds like he's trying to tank their future recruiting.
Yeah. I mean, he made it just way too personal. Like, you don't have to. You would think at some point he would have matured to the point, and I guess your point, Reese. No, he's not. He's not capable of it. He patterns himself very much after Spurrier. Spurrier was likable, though, I think. And Lane is not.
Yeah, Spurrier had a genuine old shucks about him.
Yeah. This to me. So the other, in addition to the Lane stuff about, all the racial stuff at Ole Miss, which of course he didn't have a problem with while he was there and getting compensated very, very richly the whole time he was there. So that felt personal to me. And then the Sark comment was, you go to Ole Miss and you can do basket weaving. So to me, what I would say is both Texas and LSU are a little threatened by Ole Miss, which neither should be. But I don't know how else to read it. That's the way it seems to me.
The academic shot by Sarkisian is like, you didn't need to go there. I mean, no. Kiffin is 100%. You did not need to go there because of what they did for his image, and what they did. That was a career. That was a career lifeline.
Yeah,
what Ole Miss did, and
sure
had no issues getting talent. And Ole Miss is always going to be difficult recruiting because the best talent from that area are going to go to Alabama, or going to go to Georgia, or going to go to Florida, or the other two schools in the Sunshine State, LSU. Like, you're always going to be that second fiddle school, but they helped you out, and then you turned around and lit everything on fire.
Yeah,
like Lane Kiffin has done.
He has. I was hopeful that he was past it because I like a lot about the guy, but I thought that was 66 bridges too far for sure. Ryan Day with an extensive interview with Josh Pate that dropped on Monday. His thoughts on the changes he made to the Ohio State-Michigan game, the pressure of the job. We'll get to it all coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Coffee, sandwich, hash browns. Tired of the same breakfast routine? Time to refresh your morning ritual with a $6 Tim's Trio from Tim Hortons. It starts with a premium blend of freshly brewed coffee, a hot, savory breakfast sandwich made with freshly cracked eggs, and for a tasty twist, a daily baked donut to sweeten the deal. Ask for the $6 Tim's Trio. Your morning ritual refreshed. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, must ask for offer. Medium coffee only. Terms apply.
There's an old story about cat toys that's been retold for over 20 years because it perfectly explains who we are. This is Dennis Sullivan, president of Care Heating and Cooling. Years ago, a couple who shared their house with 3 cats had another company out to look at their furnace. After working on it, the technician said it was dangerous and had to be replaced. The couple called Care for a second opinion, and my dad Mike went out to help them. When he inspected the furnace, the cause of the problem became obvious. A cat toy had been stuffed into the heat exchanger. With the toy removed, the furnace ran perfectly. Now, how did the toy get there? You can decide for yourself, but here's what mattered then and still matters now. The first company paid commissions to their service techs to sell new furnaces. At Care, we pay our technicians to fix furnaces, not sell you a new one. And if a new furnace is needed, our team of replacement specialists will advise you on all options available and help you make your best choice. Care Heating and Cooling. Call 1-800-COOLING when you need a company you can trust.
Great Lakes Hyundai. The savings are so good.
May the savings be with you at Great Lakes Hyundai. Right now, lease a new 26 Elantra SE for $59 per month for 2 years. Just $59 a month for the May mega sale. This month only. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with owner assurance and America's best warranty. A 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain coverage. Dublin or Columbus or glexhyundai.com. With approved credit, $39.95 down plus tax, title, first month payment, 7,500 miles per year, and 6-1.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's up? What's up, man? What's up with you?
All right, here's what's up on a First Friday Miracle edition of the program. Coach Day on with Josh Pate on the Josh. This is the Josh Pate Show, right? Is that the name of it? I think so. I see the viral clips. That's what I see all the time. So he wide-ranging interview. Coach had a lot of time. Josh had a lot of time with him. One of the things that he talked about here, and we talked about this a lot last year in the lead up to the Michigan game. And I think if you go back to last season, and you were to say to a Buckeye fan coming out of a national championship, what is the number one thing that needs to happen in 2025? I would have said 97% of the audience would say beat Michigan. That's it. Beat Michigan. Everything else. And then we got greedy. You beat Michigan, and they were like, oh, yeah, go win the Big Ten and win the national title and everything else.
Yeah, because you're undefeated.
This is Ohio State, and that's the way that it runs around here. But the number one objective was to beat Michigan. Ryan made a lot of changes to Michigan this week. The Michigan game last year, the week leading up to it, various changes. Why did he make those changes? He answered it here.
And I think the game itself, you have Thanksgiving. You have, for us on Sunday night, the band used to come in and do their deal. We would get in the bus and drive up there. Why? Because that's what they've always done here. And I just said, well, we have to keep this more like a normal week and make it normal. And if we continue to build every week, then we'll be ready for that game at the end of the season, because the guys know how important it is. You can hear it when they talk. So we did the band thing during the bye week. We flew up instead of drove up. We just tried to keep everything consistent the best we could. And I think it allowed the guys to focus on the game more and not as much about all the other things that come with it. Because if we can master what we do on a week-to-week basis and be really, really good at, doing our job and preparing and practicing at a high level and then performing on Saturday, that's ultimately what it comes down to. We know the emotion's going to be there. We know what comes with that game. We know how much it means to everybody. But sometimes when you spend so much on it and it's been a couple years, 3 years, 4 years where it's not going well, there can be so much on it that you almost become paralyzed when things don't go well. And we didn't want that to happen. And I thought it was a good example of that is, we threw the pick early in the game. And then we came right back and just kept playing. It didn't affect us like maybe it had in the past.
That's one of those things where you can look back at it because it worked and say, well done. Well done. It's one of those things, if it doesn't work, and this is the damned if you do, damned if you don't part about being the head coach at Ohio State. If it doesn't work, then everybody says, oh, my God, the Michigan game has changed him. He's changing all these traditions that we have. It's in his head. It's all of these things. And the real truth, guys, is probably all of it. It probably is all of it. I'm sure Ryan, at various points in some of those losses to Michigan, was like, what am I doing wrong here? When everything you build for in life goes your way, and it feels like every single decision you make hits, and then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, it doesn't, in this one thing that matters most while all these other things are smoking, You can't help but question all of it.
I mean, you could see it on his face after the flag planting thing. Like, that's an ultimate, is this me?
Yeah, like what am I doing? What is the problem here? Why are we losing to these? This is ridiculous. And it does. These are human people that make mistakes, and you learn from them, and it goes. And so, there will come a time when they beat you again, and that doesn't mean you throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Like, all teams are different, all coaches are different. Everything that he did last year worked, and it got them a win that I think most of us would say was the most important thing that had to happen last year, and they did it. And that's part about being the coach here. There is a tremendous amount of pressure on that game and on really every single game. Here's Ryan on that.
It all comes down to our identity, man, like who we are as a team and what we're going to grab onto. And so, we talk about that a lot here. And I think we have the right people in place, but, every year is its own journey. And just because we've had success in the past, it means nothing. Winning is not just something that's preordained around here. Like, we got to grind for everything that we get. And so I think a big part of our recruiting is bringing in the same type of people that have the same mindset, though. When you walk into this place, like I've said it before, you're coming to be a first or second round draft pick. We know not everybody's going to be that way, but it's the mindset. When you're a coach, you're coming in here to win the rivalry game and win national championships. That's the expectation. So it's easy to say, but take Arthur Smith, for example, or Matt Patricia. Like, they've never won a national championship before. Like, when you're in the NFL, winning 10 games is a great year, and you win a couple games in the playoffs. That's great. Well, that's not good enough around here. We got to win them all. And so that mindset is something that is important that everybody has to understand. And as the head coach, I have to make sure that everybody in the building embraces that, doesn't just say it.
I think that changed with Urban. That mentality right there, that changed with Urban. I think he's right on all of it. I think that Urban's arrival here in 2011, the 2012 season, that changed the expectation. And that changed a little bit what you're capable of. I don't remember this in the Tressel era, where if you didn't win every game, we're running Tress. Now, Tress won the national championship early, and he always beat Michigan. So, like, you could tolerate some of the things. And people bitched about things then, too. I mean, Jim Bowman and all sorts of other things.
I think people social media, like, it's directly correlated to the rise of social media.
Maybe.
In how we react to every single game.
You hear more voices, Reese. I'll grant you that.
Yes.
You hear, if you want to, you can hear all the voices that you want. I think you're right there.
I think we've also gotten as a society, and we've talked about this a lot recently on the show, where if you don't win a championship, everything was a failure.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. 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 I think that, yeah. Now, I don't sense that in professional sports as much. I don't sense that in college basketball much. Like, maybe. Like, is John Shire dealing with that at Duke?
Mark Pope at Kentucky,
at Duke,
probably similar.
At Duke he is.
Yeah, Duke he definitely is.
Yeah, I would think at Duke, like, they're like, dude, you had Flag and Knuppel and you didn't win the national title? Like, what is going on here? You had all these cats?
I mean,
you didn't win a title?
Look at Hubert Davis at North Carolina this year. He was 24-6, and his best player got hurt, and then he gets fired.
Yeah, that's true. So I think maybe it's a college sports thing. It might just be a college sports thing. But this notion that you have to win all of those games. How many jobs like that are there in college football?
5.
I was trying. That might be high. I certainly here. I think Kirby's Georgia.
Alabama.
I think Alabama. But I think that one's going to need a massive adjustment to mentality. And unfortunately, Kalen DeBoer is going to feel the brunt of it because they don't have the money to compete the way that they used to. But I don't think Texas is like that. I don't think LSU's.
Texas should be like that.
Yeah, but I don't think they do. I've talked to so many people down there that are like, Texas doesn't demand a national title.
Yeah.
I think probably the closer doppelganger for Ohio State in the SEC, it might be Oklahoma. I think Oklahoma kind of feels like that. Like they have that. I think they kind of feel like that they have that type of pressure, and they've won more. But I don't know. But I don't. Texas, you're right. Texas should be, but I don't think they do. There aren't many places.
Not Oregon.
I don't think they're like, if you don't win every game, you're fired.
Yeah.
I think they're close to that right now because that's what Phil Knight wants before he dies.
Yeah, but I don't think the fan base has that mentality. There aren't that many that are like that. And this wasn't this way when I first got here. This has been this way in the last 15 years. This has been, win every game or what the hell, man. And that all changed. Urban's mentality changed it, and Ryan's kept it at that spot. And I mean, good Lord, you went from 68 to 02 without a national title. You're not entitled to one every 10 years. But now it feels like that's the minimum requirement, is to win one every 10 years.
Did it feel for you like, and because we know the person Jim Tressel is and the person Urban Meyer is, and Tressel was a competitor. Tressel wanted to win, but like Urban needed to, almost like he needed air, needed to win every single thing that he did. When you were covering both of those coaches, like you sensed it, and I think the fan base did too.
Homage put out a shirt in the 2012 season that said relentless Ohio State football. And that was Urban. I think you're right. My view of Urban was he had no time for tomfoolery. He had no time for anything other than press, pressure, you compete, constant. And Tress was not like that. He was not like that. Yes, he wanted to win, and he beat Michigan 9 times out of 10. But it wasn't that type of feeling outward, and there wasn't this constant compete that Urban brought, and Ryan has continued. So yeah, I think that's a good read on it. That it flipped with Urban because that was what was the minimum requirement for him to survive as a college football coach, was to be at an 11 always. That he didn't know any other way. And I think Ryan's trying to take the best of kind of both of those guys and other people that he's mentored or that have been mentors to him throughout the time to create his Buckeye program, which has been damn successful. But I do think there aren't many places where you can say if you don't win every game, you're disappointed. And certainly this is one of them. And there's a handful of other ones, but that handful might not even reach 5 by the time all is said and done. We'll go around the sports world last night coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have 0-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville, or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
All right, if you're planning that summer road trip, before you load up and hit the highway, make sure your vehicle is ready for that journey. At your main Honda of Dublin, you can count on same-day service to get you road trip ready. From oil changes to inspections, it's quick, easy, and done right. So you can drive with confidence wherever the summer takes you. No stress, no delays, just smooth sailing. Stop by Germain Honda of Dublin, just south of 270 on Sawmill Road, or schedule your service anytime at germainhondaofdublin.com.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine, give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool, refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good days, give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew.
I'm Brianna Albizu, traffic anchor for 10 TV News this morning. Columbus is quickly becoming my home, and this community has welcomed me with open arms. My mission is simple: to help you get to where you're going quickly and safely. Whether it's helping you beat the slowdown on 270 or giving you detours around major construction, we've got you covered. Because when your morning's on the move, so are we. Make the move to 10 TV News this morning, weekdays from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
I love
Right Pat Credit Union because they're solution driven.
I feel valued as a member.
They're focused on the latest technology and the personal connections.
Experience benefits that go beyond banking with Right Pat Credit Union. Just ask our actual members.
I definitely recommend Right Pat to all my family and friends as a credit union of choice.
Visit one of our Columbus area Right Pat Credit Union member centers near you. Based on individual members' experiences, results may vary.
Your favorite fan shows are available as a podcast. What a concept. And don't miss exclusive podcast content like Austin and Byrne. Listen on your schedule from anywhere in the world. Available wherever you get your podcasts.
Aaron, I've invented something really important.
Great. Tell me what it is.
You know how water heaters never give the homeowner any sort of signal that they are about to quit working?
Jerry, did you invent a way to solve that problem?
I sure did. I call it the Eco First Responder System.
I like it. How does it work?
Well, when your hot water heater quits working and you have no hot water, just call Eco before 5 p.m. and we guarantee to install your new hot water heater that same day, even if you decide to go tankless.
Jerry, that's been our policy for a long time. What exactly did you invent?
I invented the name, Aaron. The name. The Eco First Responder System. I thought you said you liked it.
Sure, Jerry. It's a great name for a really strong guarantee.
When your water heater quits working, just call Eco before 5 p.m. and we guarantee to install your new hot water heater that same day, even if you decide to go tankless.
You're a great guy, Jerry. I'm really glad you work here.
Get Eco.
ECO.
GetEco.com.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Federal Elite Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Bo could quit today and become the school drop-off line coordinator. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Newly re-signed Charlie Coyle was on with the fellas this morning, T-Bone and Tyvus. They asked him why he re-signed with the Jackets.
There was a lot to it. It's never just one thing. I want to go to a place where I think I can win. I'm getting older. Been in the league for a little bit now. Haven't won, and I want that taste. And I've seen the potential here this year playing with these guys. I know what we can accomplish and how we can play and what we have in that locker room. And I know management will, probably add some pieces, and they still have, some work to do with other free agents and things like that. But we're going to put together a good team, and I know management, I know Don Waddell, our GM, they're all in, as they've told me, and that's how I'm feeling too. I'm all in. I know having Rick Bowness back behind the bench, that's a guy who's all in. So I love playing for him. I love playing with my teammates, and it's something I want to continue to do. And living in Columbus, we've grown to love it here, and just the way of life. I have a family, I have kids, so to be locked down for a little bit is a very important thing to me and my family, to plant some roots and have some security.
There are two types of way that the Columbus Blue Jackets can acquire talent and keep talent. Acquire and keep. One, they can draft them. You draft them, you develop them, they go, oh, this is a great place. Incredible fan base, great building, great town, really good golf courses that we get to play whenever we want. Also a big deal. Incredible place to play this summer. You got some anonymity here as a hockey player. Like, you can live your normal life. Your kids can go to school. You're not going to get bugged. No one's going to do any. You're not going to have to deal with crazy fandom, paparazzi, any of that stuff. You have to deal with this some places. So that's one way. The other way is exactly what Charlie Coyle is. That's a guy in his 30s who was acquired via trade, who came here with his family and went, oh, wow, I can raise a family here. My kids can grow up here. This infrastructure is spectacular. I got great schools, great suburbs. We complain about the traffic. The traffic here is nothing. It's nothing in comparison to some of these places. Like, the quality of life here is so elite for professional hockey players with families. Now, you can't do anything about the Panarin thing when you got young guys who want to be jet set and want to live in glamorous places. Like, you're not going to get those type of guys. So you have to either draft them or you have to acquire them. And when you acquire them, ideally they need to be guys late 20s, early 30s with young families. That's why Johnny came here. That's why he came. He was going to raise, and Meredith still is, but they were going to raise their family here. That's why he came. He saw it. And so all you need here is a little bit of winning, and then all of that is going to feed in perpetuity, because as soon as they get here, they fall in love with it. But those are the two types of player talent acquisitions that can thrive here. Those two examples.
There's something that he said at the very beginning of that clip that stuck with me, and it's the exact reason to me why the Blue Jackets had to get this done and keep Charlie Coyle in their locker room. He said, I'm an older guy, and I haven't won yet. Well, this is the first season Charlie Coyle's never been in the playoffs in his career. So what's he talking about? Well, he's talking about the Stanley Cup. He wants to win it all, and he's been on good teams that were knocking on the door. And I don't think Charlie Coyle is just giving lip service when he says that this team is close. Like, I don't think Charlie Coyle wants to lose in the first round or lose in the second round. He's done that. And that's why this was so important for the Blue Jackets to get this done. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, they overpaid, the sticker shock, 6 years, he's going to be 40. Don Waddell's 68, Rick Bowness is 71. They're not thinking about 6 years from now. They're thinking about right now. And Charlie Coyle is a guy that can help change the culture in this locker room for the CBJ. And that's why I think this was so important. He wants to win a Stanley Cup. He's been to the playoffs. He doesn't care about getting back to the playoffs unless the end goal is Stanley Cup.
I think that in theory, Bake, the way you spun that is how you'd want to as a Jackets fan. The second part of that statement from his is the part that I think you start to weigh things as you age.
Yeah, he's got security.
He's got security. He's got roots he can lay down. Yes, he thinks that they can have success here, but I don't know if he said, like, I got to win a cup at 35 that you stay here, because this isn't the best chance for that. They're not going to win a cup next year. They're not to that level yet. If it happens, then he'd be thrilled to be a part of it, but that's not where this operation is yet, Reese.
No, he gets similar money probably on the open market, but the terms of the contract, I think, to your point, were enough. And yeah, the Jackets are always going to have to overpay if they value a player, especially a player that knows probably what they can get similarly on the open market. That's just where you are right now as an organization. You talk about knocking on the door. They got to knock on the door of the playoffs. Yeah, they've always been that.
Exactly. And I think that the part with that's why this type of player is the type that wants to be here right now. It is a guy who can see those things.
And Bo, I think you're right on that. The only thing I will say is I don't know if anybody thought the Anaheim Ducks were a team coming into this year that would be where they are right now. And a couple years ago,
that's fair.
In the NFL, when the Houston Texans were picking second, I don't think anybody thought they were going to be a playoff team the next year. And again, I know we're talking about winning a Stanley Cup. I'm just saying a lot of things can happen. If you get a Blue Jackets team that plays the whole season like they did for those 2 months after Rick Bowness took over, that's a team that could compete for it.
Yeah. But in order for that to happen, you need these young guys to go be dudes like now. They need to be dudes. That's kind of the way that this thing needs to shake out. A couple other things around the sports world right now. Spurs get back up to 3-2. Victor Wembanyama takes out a little bit of vengeance, to say the least. 27-17, 5 blocks, 5 assists, 3 blocks. I mean, just crazy game out of him. He's stupefying to watch play. A couple on the ice last night as well. The Canadians drop one to Buffalo 3-2. So that series is now, that's 3-2? No, series tied 2-2 in that one. And then in the other one is the Golden Knights up 3-2 on the Ducks after an overtime win last night. I've not been drawn to the hockey yet. Normally I start to get pulled into it. I have not got pulled into it yet. I don't know if it's just we're making up a bunch of youth games. I'm not getting there right at puck drop. I kind of need that with the NHL. I need to jump in right at puck drop, and I haven't been able to do that yet. So hopefully that'll change as we inch closer into the postseason. Second hour of the program coming up next. We kick it off a little higher, lower. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
1, 2, 3. Here in The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Summer savings are heating up at Germain Toyota of Columbus. Right now, drive home in the rugged 2026 Toyota Tacoma for just $299 financing for up to 48 months. Or turn heads in the sporty and stylish 2026 Camry XSE. Lease it for only $399 a month for 36 months with $39.99 due at signing and 10,000 miles per year. So whether you need truck capability or sedan comfort, Germain Toyota has the next ride waiting. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road or online at germaintoyota.net.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Hey, it's Austin Ward with a unique opportunity for you. The chance to drop 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180. Fast results, sustainable results, medication-free, and free support for life. 40 by the 4th. This is your year. Awaken180weightloss.com.
The Reds are on the radio.
Swung on first. High, deep left field. There it goes. A 3-run go-ahead blast for Eugenio Suarez. They're waving around Friedel. Up throwing Anthony. Throw to the plate, not in time. And the Reds walk it off at 11, 6-5.
The quest for October baseball is underway. Hear all the action all season long on your home of the Reds.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint, ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Our veterans put everything on the line to defend our nation. So when they need help, Congressman Mike Carey fights for our veterans. Because as a veteran himself, Mike Carey understands their service must be honored.
My name is Thomas Rand, and I put my life on the line serving our nation in Vietnam. But when I needed help with an outstanding disability claim, the VA wasn't there for me. But Congressman Mike Carey had my back. Because of his hard work, my claim was approved, and I got the help I needed. I'm thankful for Congressman Carey. He cares about our veterans.
Mike Carey will always fight to help our nation's heroes. If you're a veteran who needs help navigating government services, programs, and grants, call Congressman Mike Carey's office at 614-927-6902 or visit carey.house.gov. Paid for with official funds from the Office of Mike Carey.
Let me tell you one of the reasons I think we became the largest injury firm in the world, and it's not even close. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. My wife and I had a plan early on. In our firm, our lawyers only work on certain types of cases. Our products liability and dangerous drug lawyers only work on those cases. Same for car crashes, workers' compensation, medical malpractice, and insurance disputes. Our thinking is for these lawyers to focus on one area of the law and live it and breathe it. Power comes from knowledge. Many lawyers do everything, jack of all trades. Not us. And we don't charge an hourly rate. You only pay us if we win. If you want to hire us, it's easy. Dial Pound Law on your cell phone, pound 529, or visit forthepeople.com on your phone or computer from the comfort of your own home. Let us get to work for you. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
From military life to a rewarding career in IT, kickstart your new journey in a matter of months in the fields of IT and cybersecurity, including AI. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including VA benefits.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios, driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning, I'm Eric Reeser. Despite similar records, the Reds and Guardians find themselves at opposite ends of their Central Division. Cincinnati took it on the chin last night, a 10-4 home loss to the Washington Nationals. Reds have dropped 8 of their last 10 and are at the bottom of the NL Central at 22-20. Cincinnati and Washington go in Game 2 of their series tonight at 6:40. The Guardians are 23-21 and tops in the AL Central. Cleveland beat the LA Angels last night 3-2. Guardians look to break out the brooms with a win today at 1:10. In the NFL, the entire 2026 schedule is out tomorrow night at 8. Select games have already been announced, like a Week 11 game in Mexico City between the Niners and Vikings. That's November 22nd on Sunday Night Football. San Francisco's in Australia for Week 1 against the Rams. Real Madrid's Bernabeu will host a Week 8 matchup between the Bengals and Falcons, a Week 9 matchup November 8th. This update is sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling, together to serve you better. Scheduled today at thewaterworks.net.
They'll offer betting advice, but don't bet on it being good. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, we got to move higher, lower. We're going to do, I was going to do higher, lower comes now. We got to move it.
We could rank the announcement by Ohio State.
We could do that.
Do we need the breaking news sounder here?
Yeah, do it. Hit it. You got one?
We have one?
Do we have one on this show? I don't know if we've ever used one on this show.
I don't have one on my end. I just do higher or lower.
They could have given us
you can't
a 30-second heads up
to have it.
Well, this all is just happening so fast.
Yeah, this was 10 a.m. on the dot. Like our legal hit, and Baker's like, "Did you see Ohio State's announcement?" I'm like, "Well, I don't have time to throw it in the update."
Here we go.
Now we're talking. And breaking news out of Ohio State 2 minutes ago. I believe the technical term is they are back.
Oh, baby.
After 20 long years, countless hours on this program, I can't even tell you how many times I've tried to speak this into existence. The amount of people that I've talked to about this, from Gene Smith to Urban Meyer to Ryan Day to Ross Bjork to Top Gun Ted before he got into trouble in hot water. All of them. I begged them all, please do this. Please do this. And they did. The gray is back. After 20 long years, the gray is back. It actually looks silver, which is spectacular.
Looks
it really
glorious.
pops.
Matches the helmet.
It does match the helmet. In a tweet titled "Not Done Yet," Ohio State football dropped the scarlet and gray and the white over gray with gray sleeves. At long last, our struggle is over, boys. At long last.
Congratulations to all involved.
It
does feel like Ohio State's serious in their desire to make more money for name, image, and likeness efforts in old Columbus town, because these are going to be hot. Julian Sane, understandably, is rocking the scarlet uniform with those heritage stripes, and it is more silver, but it's great because the silver matches the pants, almost matches the helmet, and it's similarly on the white. Still looks great. This is
so good.
This is understanding the assignment after the announcement earlier this week of the tunnel vision, black uniforms with those stripes. Good job, everybody.
Go ahead, Bake. Your thoughts. Go ahead.
I want Ball State tomorrow. This looks great.
115 days, brother.
Like, as much as we've wanted this, I didn't realize how much I wanted this.
I mean, I don't know that I could articulate any more how much I've wanted this over the years. I mean, this has been one of my big. I feel like everything's coming. My job here is almost done. My job here is almost done. I'm getting the calendar fixed. We got gray on sleeves. Like, all of these things are working. This is everything I've ever wanted. It's all happening.
I mean, you can now. Well, I'll say this: when the Ohio State Buckeyes win the national championship on January 26th, you can take your rightful place at your school's drop-off line. knowing that you did the job of making Ohio State and Columbus a better place.
Yeah, I think so too.
I mean, your application to replace Top Gun Teddy is done now.
I feel like so.
Let's give him the job.
Let me do it. Give me a little taste of this. They look spectacular. It does say not done yet.
Oh.
So, some things you become aware of when you've been around here long enough. So I had a pretty good inkling that this was happening and was very, very thrilled about that it was going to happen. But it says not done yet. And so I'm curious. Then it makes you say, well, okay, what else is possible here if we're going to go with
now
this
it
route?
feels like anything's possible.
I don't even care. Like anything beyond this, do whatever you need to do. But this is the uniform that the Buckeyes should wear. This is it. They're finally back in it.
So, Bo, we were correct here. Fish has forwarded us the release from Ohio State.
Okay.
And it says these core uniforms with the Buckeye stripe now in metallic silver sleeves.
Okay.
So we were right on that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially on the away one, it really glistens. So here's the thing that's kind of weird about we got quirky stuff around here. Like this state, like in our teams, we just got quirky stuff. Like we're named after a poisonous nut. There's just some stuff that's kind of quirky. And I understand it's the men of scarlet and gray, but I think it's really kind of red and silver, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be honest, like from a football perspective, it's kind of more red and silver than it is scarlet.
Not much
and
gray.
No, it's really much more silver. I'm curious if the pants have a little shimmer to them as well.
Well, that's what I was going to say.
Tell.
The only thing else you could do here is just bring back silver pants, and it would all match perfectly.
Yeah, which they wore those in the 90s, and I thought the reason that they got rid of those or what we were told is they couldn't make them shimmer the way that they did in the new fabric. I think that was the deal.
Now you can do any of them.
Obviously, the Raiders do it, so it works out for them. So I guess if you wanted to, you could. But these are spectacular. I'm over the moon, kids. Now, the key to this is that you learn, and this will be an interesting one. We'll do a live little experiment on the program. The key is, did you learn the mistakes of the Tiger Woods drop from a year ago, as you guys remember, when he dropped his new gear, Sunday Red, but you couldn't buy it anywhere. So they've unveiled these uniforms. Now the question is, are they available for purchase? So we are going live to Fanatics right now. We are on because it's a cartel, and that's the way that it works. Sorry for those. It just is. They're about the only place you get it. No, they're not available yet there.
So
when are they available at the bookstore?
So in the email, shop now with an exclamation point. Replica jersey sales will launch this July through the Ohio State team shop. Additional player-specific merchandise, hats, hoodies, shirts, collectibles will roll out closer to the 2026 season in-store or online at gobuckeyes.com. So it looks like July, which have them ready to go today.
Yeah, you could have just waited on this drop until July then. They're my guys. I'm thrilled. I'm not going to complain about anything. If you give me a 30-second, what I would say is drop these two first, so you don't have kind of the confusion around the black uniform, which you dropped on Monday. So I would have dropped these first. Then I would have dropped the black one. So you go, they're not done yet. You drop that. Then you drop the black one the next day, kind of, oh, here's a little surprise for you kids. And then that one drops in. People are bouncing off the walls. But I do think in an ideal world, it's available now.
I would say maybe in a month, on June 14th, you make pre-orders available. And you just open it up to that if you don't have the physical, or you send some out, like 770 Twin Rivers Drive. You could send a couple too. Just the jerseys, though. Don't send us anything else, please.
Yeah, I hope they also, one of the things that I think all of college athletics have struggled a little bit with this NIL and all of this. Here's a piece of advice. Take it if you want. Whether you do it at the team shop in the shot or you do it, that one's the easiest because it has the most parking for like general fans, or wherever you're going to have like your number one Buckeye place, and a lot of it would probably be online. Have an ability to print these live, not just for adult sizes, but kid sizes as well. I mean, the Browns have this up in their pro shop. Like you can go in there and they just have a template blank Browns jerseys. And you can go in there. They're all the brown one, but you can go in there and get any number you want, any name on the back that you want. and have that available, that technology. That shouldn't be that hard to have just a bunch of blank, small, medium, large youth jerseys where you can just print a number on them, print the name on it, and give a percentage of those sales to the athletes whose name goes on the back, or none of it if you want to customize it. But that should be available. I mean, there's ways to print even more money with this stuff than it could be. But overall, thrilled. I'm curious about the not done yet. Like, what else could be happening?
I do wonder maybe if that's just referencing the earlier announcement.
Could be.
What I was thinking.
And saying, well, we gave you this on Monday. Now here's this.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to drop a white pant and a red pant because they have those in the catalog. So
could be. We have talked about this forever on this show. And Bo, I've talked about this for 20 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
You've talked about this, and sometimes it almost seems like, well, maybe this isn't that big of a deal. Maybe nobody really cares.
No.
And then you look at them dropping this in Twitter, and Albert Breer's reposted, and Bill Landis, and just we reposted, and everybody's liking it. Yeah, this is a major deal.
It was a major deal when they took them off. Massive deal when they took them off. I've talked to Bob about this. I've talked to Threes about this. I've talked to Dom. Anybody who was around when they took it off was like, what are you doing? It was like the number one news story. My wife was at Channel 4 at the time. I remember her on the anchor desk, like reading the story and how controversial it was to take gray off the sleeves. And they were off for 20 years on the regular uniform. And it never made sense to anybody, ever. And now it's back. And by the way, I love this thing too, and I think these have it. I don't see like the full up close, but these just have the block O, right? Yeah. I've said that for years too. Forget the word state across the O. Just make the block O the logo.
Yeah, they know
now they have the block O on the yoke.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what the block O is, man. You don't need to put state across it. This is no notes. Chef's kiss, perfection. The white one with the silver really pops.
Yes. That's the whole Ohio State in that logo. That was just a bunch of marketing people that had no clue about Ohio State, which makes no sense.
Yeah, yeah. You don't need to qualify it. Everybody knows what a block O and scarlet and gray is.
You've trademarked the people know.
Yes. They know. That's a big win. Good job, Buckeyes. Thank you, Coach Day. Thank you, Ross. Everybody involved with that. The folks at Nike who finally listened. Those are perfect. No notes, pristine. The best uniforms in college football are back on the reg here in Old Columbus Town. That's a win for all of us. We'll do a little higher, lower coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Tire Discounters has turned 50. In 1976, founder Chip Wood had two things, a mission and a mustache. One helped him start a business. The other helped him start a family. 50 years later, Tire Discounters is still owned by Chip's family, living by the golden rule, which means the Wood family treats you like you want to be treated, like family, but without all the bickering, of course.
Delaware County Veterans Services is ready to help you access VA benefits, emergency financial assistance, dental and medical grants, transportation, and more. Give Delaware County Veterans Services a call, 740-833-2010 to schedule an appointment.
Parents, let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Go for it.
We're listening.
Yeah. Are your teens good with money?
He's a good kid,
she's the
but
best,
yeah.
but I get it. Switch to Huntington Bank, and your teen debit card can really help.
Oh?
You can set spending limits, and your kid can track budgets, so they learn that money doesn't, in fact, grow on trees.
I think we need this.
Sounds good, yeah. We feel you, parents. Let's get more from teen banking. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank. Welcome. Eligibility requirements apply. Some features may require enrollment.
Every year, tens of thousands in Central Ohio choose Columbus State Community College to start what's next. They're earning degrees that open doors to in-demand jobs, stable careers, and real earning power. They're bridging the gap to an affordable university bachelor's degree, avoiding the trap of student loan debt, and moving their lives and our community forward. Columbus State is making Central Ohio stronger. Apply today at cscc.edu.
Spring is picking up steam and our beautiful colors are on display during the Parade of Color at Oakland Nursery. Ensure amazing color all summer long and save during Oakland's flat sale. Flats of celosias, marigolds, petunias, begonias, and impatiens. Normally $19.99 a flat, now just $15.99 a flat during the Parade of Color. 32 plants per flat, just $15.99. Oakland Nursery is 35 acres of outdoor shopping and pure gardening pleasure. For 86 years, spring color starts at Oakland Nursery.
Jack Nicklaus's unrivaled vision. World-class competition. Yes! Golf's greats honor. Impactful charitable giving. Loyal fans and volunteers. An iconic history defined by one handshake on the 18th green. June 1st through 7th. Buy your tickets to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Memorial Tournament presented by Workday. Visit memorialtickets.com.
When it comes to your roofing, siding, or gutter needs, call Newman Roofing. 614-NEW-ROOF. NewmanRoofing.com.
Good news. Jack has personally invited the fan to the Memorial Tournament, and we're broadcasting 30 hours of live content, and we'll try not to embarrass ourselves.
Sponsored by Ohio for Responsible Gambling. Visit pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Call today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000. 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. 614-470-2000. 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you want and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, foreclosures, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Call today and speak with me, John Kozik, for an all-cash offer and the help you need. At 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000, TurboTrackRealty.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today, and a little bit cooler with highs into the upper 60s to low 70s, but we will have breezy winds and an isolated chance of showers. For tonight, mostly cloudy with our overnight lows in the 40s, and then for Thursday, mostly cloudy, turning sunny and cooler with highs in the mid to low 60s and breezy winds. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Bobby Carpenter demands that you watch Morning Juice on YouTube. If you don't, Tito will move into your house.
Live at 6 a.m. on YouTube and streaming on the Fan app.
We'll read your emails on the air, but we won't tell you where to send them. Hey, we're not doing all the work for you. This is Bishop and Friends.
Indeed it is. We're proudly brought to you and sponsored by our great friends at Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for nearly 80 years. They got a video with Big Cat and Mike Doss with this gray sleeve. They're calling it the Buckeye Stripe. Like, I'm thrilled about all of it, but if it's the Buckeye Stripe, my God, why did it take 20 years? Why did it take 20 years? It sounds great. They look spectacular. No notes. I'm happy they're back. They look great, and they're going to fly off the shelves. All three of those are. The white one, the red one, and the black one is gonna. Those things are gonna fly. Time for a little higher, lower. Go ahead, Reese.
Bishop and Friends present higher or lower.
All right, so spring has ended in college football. USA Today has put out their post-spring power rankings for all of the conferences.
Okay.
Do we want to do, and Paul Meyerberg's doing the Lord's work here, the ACC or the SEC here?
SEC, more real contenders there, more enemies of the state, more things that we have to keep a very close eye on. Yeah.
I don't want to do any of it. I want to keep talking jerseys.
Yeah.
Like, screw
this
the
is tough
SEC
to do
right now.
When you're talking about what just landed in our laps. This from Silver Bullet Saga. Three's making sure the drop happens while we are on the air. It's a good job out of him if that in fact is the case.
He had when he was on all the time, we used to talk about this obviously, and he had the dismay of going into 06, those coming off. Like, everyone was confused. Why? What are we doing?
I wonder
why would we do this?
Whose Herbie Hancock was the final nail in that
It
coffin.
had to be Tress, I think.
Yeah?
Probably.
It was whoever signed the deal with Nike.
Yeah, but my pushback to that was, and anytime Ohio State would wear like the pro combat stuff or any of that, my pushback to, they would always say, well, Nike's making us do it. Nike wants this. And I'd always be like, Alabama just tells them no. Like, Alabama never wore their pro combat. All it had was the faintest houndstooth design in the white. They never wore any of that stuff. In the numbers, the white of the numbers, you couldn't even see it on television at all. So you could always say no to any of it. Penn State never acquiesced to this stuff. They're going to Adidas, by the way.
They probably didn't get the money, though, right? Because I'm sure Nike gives you a little bit of a check when you do something new.
Michigan has gotten a great deal of money from Nike and Jordan Brand and all of that, and they haven't done any of it. So I think Ohio State secretly liked it. I think Tress liked it. I think Urban liked it. I think my theory on it was always, and I do think there was validity to, Nike wanted uniformity and stripes. So they did this to the Browns, too. You remember when they redid the Browns uniforms and they got rid of the Browns stripes on there, and they had that one, the stripe that was similar to the one that Ohio State wore for all these years. So I think it started there, and then I think Tress saw it, and Tress loved Earl. Loved him. And so did Urban, obviously. And that stripe that we just got rid of is the one they wore through the 80s. That was the one. And so I think it was kind of like a nod to Earl, and the gray sleeves were really Woody, and then Coop were the big, thick gray sleeves. So, one thing that would be kind of cool as a one-off if they went with the massive numbers again as a one-off, like the ones from like Eddie with the giant numbers on there. That might be kind of cool as a one-off.
There's always time because they said they're not done yet.
Yeah.
I will say, Bo, and I told you this to you in the break, I'm normally a guy who wear your red jersey, your scarlet jersey as much as possible.
Yeah.
These whites with that silver and red on the sleeve contrasting, and then the red O right there at the collar, God, they look good.
If they have the white pants still, like that iced out look, would look sick with that one. Would really look slick. Yeah, they crushed this. You can't get any higher. This is perfection on every front from the Ohio State perspective. So to answer your question, though, we can go SEC.
Really cool seeing Big Cat hold up that new Ohio State jersey.
Isn't that cool,
That's such a good nod.
Him and Doss.
And a good look forward. Good look for what's to come. 115 days, Ball State.
Let's go.
So Paul Meyerberg has ranked all 16 SEC teams after the Southeastern Conference, like the rest of college football, has wrapped up spring. At number 1, he's got the Texas Longhorns. At number 2, the Georgia Bulldogs. At number 3, the Oklahoma Sooners. At 4, the Alabama Crimson Tide. At 5, Texas A&M. Higher or lower for the Aggies at 5?
I think it's too high for Bama. I see nothing in Bama that leads me to believe that they're going to be. And I do think Kalen DeBoer's a good coach. I just think massive talent exodus. I think it's too high for Texas. I understand it's a thing to do in the offseason, and the way that people are selling it is, Arch was so good the second half of the year. Yeah, he was pretty good. But it wasn't like, you were sitting here watching it saying, oh, my God, they can do everything they want offensively. And they did bring in Corey Coleman in the portal, so they should be a pretty good team. I would have Georgia 1. To me, Georgia returns a lot of their guys, recruiting portal, all of those things. I would probably have Georgia number 1 on this list. Then I would probably go Texas 2, A&M 3. And then who did you say? Who did they have at 3? They had Alabama. And
4 was Alabama. 3 was Oklahoma.
Well, I don't know where they're on this list, but I think that LSU will be more than fine.
Well, Ole Miss is at 6. LSU is at 7.
So Ole Miss is a problem here to me because I know they lost their coach, but Trinidad Chambliss and Kawan Lacey are still there.
Yeah.
So I would have them 3 behind Texas. I would have Texas, Georgia, then Ole Miss.
You'd have Texas ahead of Georgia?
I would, yes.
Would you?
I just think that Texas roster is so talented, and I think Arch will be much better this year. I don't trust Sarkisian at all, though.
No. All right, just from a portal standpoint, and this is according to our lads. They do such a great job with this. They have 3 new starters on defense in the portal and 8 either returnees or guys that were in the program who stayed. So that's a pretty good amount of continuity there. Offensively, they'll have a new transfer running back in Hollywood Smothers, Cam Coleman. I think I said Corey. Cam Coleman from Auburn. He was the number 1 receiver in the portal. And they'll have 2 new offensive linemen from the transfer portal as well. The 2 deep, not crazy from a transfer portal standpoint. The Texas play just comes down to Arch. There's nothing else. It's is he, and I'm just going to do this live on the air because I'm curious if the perception of him meets the reality of what he did in the second half of last season. I hear this all of the time, is how great he was, and I do think a lot of people. They ended up 10-3. Of course, Sark was trying to get him into the postseason with that. But I think a lot of people ended up watching. There was a game against Texas. No. It was a game against Mississippi State that he led a comeback. They won 45-38. So he was better. So here he was. This was his month of November. They beat Vanderbilt. He went 25-33, 328, and 3. So there's pretty dang good right there. They lost to Georgia, got bombed, 35-10 in Athens. He went 27-43, 251, a touchdown and a pick. Next week they beat Arkansas. He went 18-30, 389, 4 touchdowns, no picks. Arkansas was terrible. In the rivalry game against Texas A&M, he was 14-29 for 179 and a touchdown and no picks. And then in the game against Michigan, that must have been the Citrus Bowl game, he was 21-34, 221 and 2 touchdowns, no picks. He didn't light the world on fire, is my point, in the last month of the season. Not by a damn stretch. And against the best opponents he played, Ohio State, 17-30, 170, a touchdown and a pick. Against Oklahoma, they got a win. He was 21-27, but just for 166, a touchdown and no picks. Then I went over the Georgia and A&M game. So against best competition, he did not light them up the way that I think some people are making you think they did. Won't LSU be better too with Levitt? Like, I can't stand what Kiffin did this week.
They have to be.
Yeah, I don't. And he's out here saying, no, don't judge us year one. Oh, go to hell.
Yeah, $90 million says you must be judged year one.
Yeah, get out of here with
like
don't judge us.
Governor Landry didn't make this move so you could take a year. Like, this is no gap year.
No. Yeah. What is the how's the rest of it end up, Reese?
So we'll go to 8 at Tennessee, 9 is Florida, Missouri's at 10, South Carolina at 11, Vanderbilt's 12, Auburn 13, Mississippi State 14, Kentucky 15, Arkansas, go Hogs, at 16.
Wow. Auburn 13?
Yep.
He'll coach him up.
I have a hard time believing that Vanderbilt drops off that much. I mean, I know Diego Pavia played his butt off in a lot of games, but Clark Lee's a good coach, and that team was more than Pavia. I do not see them 12th best in the SEC.
No, I wouldn't think so either. And they were big on the portal. Will Stein's the coach at Kentucky now. Is that his name? The Oregon?
Yeah, Oregon's offensive coordinator.
Yeah. Do you think he wishes he would have waited? He took that job pretty quick. There might have been some better stuff out there. I'm sure the money and bourbon and the horses and all that. I don't know. Was there connective tissue? That part I don't know. But if there's connective tissue, then that would certainly make some sense.
He played at Louisville. He played in Kentucky, but for the other one.
For the other team. All right, we'll get Austin's take on the new uniforms and about everything else in the sport in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My AC stopped working. Your competition says it's fried. When I saw their cost to replace it, I could have just died.
We can give a second opinion, give you options and advice. We'll strive to earn your trust and make you a client for life.
Get a free second opinion. Replace or repair.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The weather in Central Ohio just got better, so why shouldn't your loan rate? CME Federal Credit Union wants to try to beat your current loan rate by 2% on autos and toys. Plus, enjoy no payments for 90 days on car loans and no payments for 60 days on motorcycles, boats, and more. With car rates as low as 4.99% APR and toy rates starting at 6.5% APR, it's the perfect time to save. Apply today at cmefcu.org. Terms apply. Minimum floor rates 4.99% APR cars, 6.50% APR other vehicles. Federally insured by NCUA.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on oil?
We've got many markdowns on oil.
How about on that new STP Any Mileage?
You'll save $5 when you buy 5 quarts of STP Any Mileage with an oil filter and get up to 5,000 miles of protection.
Heck of a markdown for quite a lot of miles.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is the time for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
He knows everything about the Buckeyes. He's been offered tens of dollars by a certain team to spill his secrets. He's told that certain team to go to hell. Damn you all to hell! He's Austin Ward.
So it just so happened this week that we ended up swapping days with you and Jake. This is the football gods shining down on us, buddy. We've got gray sleeves. I guess technically they're silver. I don't care. They're big and they're gray, and the team's color is back on the home uniforms. This is a win for a Buckeye Nation. I think this is one of the biggest days in the history of the program, pal.
I was thinking about 30 minutes ago, Bo. What a fortuitous turn of events that I get to come on here on a Wednesday instead of a Monday. And also, by the way, maybe they scheduled this perfectly for us, because at 6:15 or 6:14 on Monday, I thought, well, that's leaning into the tradition. That's going to be the announcement. They kind of got the order backwards, in my opinion.
I agree.
But maybe it was setting us up here for this, and to celebrate your crusade, your victorious crusade, to get tradition restored to the sleeves of the jerseys for Ohio State. God bless America. God bless the Ohio State Buckeyes.
They're perfect. This is
They're
the
awesome.
look. This is what you. Now we've got them. You know, Urban brought them back in 14 for the playoff, or Nike and Urban brought them back, and so we've had them for big games in the playoff and won the national championship in them. So we've had a version of these through the years, at least a little bit for big games, but to wear them regularly, it was always stupefying to me that they took them off to begin with. And I know it was a Nike thing, and my theory was that Tress kind of liked him because it was the uniforms they wore under Earl, and so for him it was fine. And Tress probably wasn't worried too much about uniform aesthetics. I can imagine.
Right.
But at the fact that they were 20 years, and now they're calling the Buckeye stripe, and I'm like, well, the Buckeye stripe was off for 2 decades, brother.
It was. I was talking about that with Bob the other day about how long it had been. He's like, yeah, I guess we might have been the last ones to wear it. I said, yeah, that's been 20 years that they've been missing. And I know that there are going to be plenty of people that are thrilled to see them back. I was actually talking about this with Beamer last night, where it's like, you can have some mixed opinions on the alternate uniforms, or it wasn't 100% that people loved the alternates that were unveiled on Monday night. And I said, well, there's just no world. If you put out the same poll and you asked, do you like the Buckeye stripe, the heritage stripe, whatever stripe you want to call it, that's going to be as close to 100% universal approval as you're going to find for improving and enhancing the jerseys and bringing that back. It looks like it is supposed to. So, you've made that point, I think, very well over the years. I'm just echoing that for you, because this has been, I think, long overdue. And, look good, play good, right? I think that that's a perfect combination.
I said this Monday too, Bud. I think that there was, or no, Tuesday, because they dropped on Monday night. You don't want ambiguity in drop or confusion in drop. And I think if the black one was released today and these were released Monday, then you would have had universal approval. But if you looked at some of the comments when they dropped the black one, it was like, okay, great, but are we going to get the real ones? And it was like, if they did it the other way, then I think they would have gotten everything that they wanted out of it. But I'm not going to quibble. We got what we wanted in the end.
I'm very curious, and I will probably be asking in the days or weeks ahead, maybe when we get further removed, like, hey, whose idea was it to drop the alternate first when all anybody wanted was to know? Because they'd already been teased about this for a while. We talked to Kevin Reese, I believe it was, we had him on the Notebook at the Cotton Bowl after the Texas game, and Berm was like, hey, when are these coming back? Because he's been in the same boat as you. He loves it. He grew up with it. They're identifiable. And I had said and made this point a lot, it takes Nike like 18 to 24 months to put these things into production. And Kevin didn't explicitly say, hey, wait until 2026, but it was enough of a clue that we had felt pretty confident that we're ultimately coming back. Well, then you also had dropped another clue on April 18th in the Horseshoe when you slapped them on practice jerseys. They didn't look perfect, but they looked like, that seems like not a coincidence that you would do that. So you had all this build up. You had not exactly been hiding the fact that you were going to return them. And then you had a no doubt about it slam dunk rollout that somehow it was like they accidentally pushed the wrong file through on social media or something, because it's like, what? It's 614. You are leaning in to 614. That doesn't have anything to do with an alternate jersey. Like, just put out what everyone wants. So I agree with you, but either way, it's out now.
It's out there now, buddy, and it's glorious and spectacular. And apparently they'll be available in July, so some of the beginning stuff will be open. That was the other thing I said. I go, you should have made them available. Drop them and then allow people to buy them immediately. Buy them right now. Yeah. They have them ready. But either way, we get what we want, and that's a big, big win. It seems like, big picture, Tony Petitti's going to get what he wants. I saw these notes from the ACC and their conferences, and they're kind of now all behind a 24-team playoff. I can't stand it. Doug was trying to sell me on it last Friday. I'm not buying it. I don't want a 24-team playoff. I don't care about Iowa and Vanderbilt playing a game that matters in December. It's not important to me. So I don't want it, but I think we're headed towards it in a big way. What is kind of your view of what now kind of seems like an inevitability?
Yeah, I don't like it, and I think you can read all the other tea leaves. That you had the AFCA proposal last week that was the maximum number of teams. They didn't want to put a number on it, but we understand many coaches were in favor of 24. And as you said, this will have to point to this, whether we do or not, as a Tony Petitti accomplishment. I put that in air quotes because I don't know, as a fan, what benefit that does for anybody. What this is, we don't need more playoff games for the competitive landscape. And even when you're looking at, and I was surprised, I had to do a double check on this last week, the Ohio State-Indiana Big Ten Championship game, which we all thought was going to be meaningless, and they're both in the playoff, drew almost 20 million views, was number one versus number two. And the other, the two lesser first-round playoff games were struggling to get to 8 million. So eliminating the conference championship games and that revenue, I don't even know why Tony Petitti would be in favor of that. It's also why he had been pushing for the conference championship weekends where you had 1 versus 2, and 3 versus 6, and 4 versus 5. That's actually, Bo, I thought it was ridiculous when we heard about it. That was the only version of, if you were lumping them into a 24-team format and the conferences had the clearly defined path to get in, that I was actually kind of okay with Tony Petitti's idea. Now, he didn't do a very good job selling that, and now everyone else in the SEC, included with some of the coaches like, I don't know, Tennessee or South Carolina or Vanderbilt, who might really benefit from a 24-team playoff. Like, well, let's get rid of that part, but let's get 8 SEC teams in the field and save my job security.
Yep.
That's going to happen. And I not moving up the start of the season, eliminating conference championships, some of the things that are going to have to happen to make this fit, some are good and some are awful. And I just don't – Ohio State doesn't have to say one way or the other how many teams should be in the playoff because they've qualified for every version that's ever existed. So this isn't good for Ohio State specifically. It's going to be good for a lot of the middle tier of college football. But honestly, I don't care that much about that because it's not going to enhance the playoff, and it's going to make those early rounds worse at the expense of the regular season.
I couldn't agree with you more. And the one thing I'll say on Petitti's idea that and when I had Ryan on last week, he mentioned that as well, like a play-in thing for the Big Ten. I'm okay with it. I don't have 4 automatic. If you have 24, then have 4 automatic Big Ten teams. The top 4 teams of the Big Ten, they all get in. Come with the tiebreaker, figure it out. They get in. If you want to say a maximum of 6 Big Ten teams or 6 SEC teams can get in, then have those teams play in. Have 5 play 8, 6 play 7. The winners of those games play themselves into the tournament. Okay, fine. Then at least I have games that have real stakes to them. We've had in this playoff and all this expansion, there's been a lot of bad ball. Really bad ball.
Doubt.
Crazy bad ball. Lopsided matchups, beatdowns. I don't need to see any more of that. That's my beef. What people are craving is college football games that matter. You can't sell me that a 13 versus 18 game to play into the 1 seed matters.
Well, if we're going to have a show where you've already got your way with the jersey, then I'll echo what I say and have been telling you for years, that the non-conference game, when people were celebrating Ohio State-Alabama's thing on the schedule a week ago, there aren't going to be stakes in those. What's going to happen is if they continue to maintain, 9 or 10 conference schedule games, and then we're not at 10 yet, you are going to see more of those interconference games, but they're not going to have anything attached to them. You need a full Big Ten schedule, especially if it becomes narrowed what the path actually is to qualify for the playoff. But you've made it more difficult than ever to establish the top 4 in your league, or more clearly a conference champion without playing everyone in an 18-team league. So I hate that part of it because I think we're muddying the waters and actually watering down the quality of the product to expand the playoff, and the playoff is not going to be compelling product. So they just keep doing things that don't make sense, and I don't know how they keep getting away with it, Bo.
I don't either, brother. But we got Gray back, so I'm happy. There you go. We'll do it again soon. Good talk, pal.
All right, see you, man.
All right, we'll do a little thing or not a thing coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
Head to 971thefan.com to listen on demand and subscribe to all our podcasts. Wasting time has never been easier. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
I'm Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, it's important to us that when you call Pella Columbus, you talk to a real person.
You should hear how smooth it is when you call us.
You calling right now?
Yep. Oh, here we go. New windows. No. New window. Operator.
Get the windows that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
2 guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same 2 guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Common Man and Timmy here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Oh, Timmy, it's getting closer.
What is?
The grand opening of the new Hollywood Casino Columbus Hotel.
Oh, that's right. The grand opening celebration is coming up on June 12th. Brett Michaels will be there.
And there's going to be fireworks and food trucks and swag and a chance to win a motorcycle.
Motorcycle? Shit. Get tickets at Ticketmaster.com.
Plus, on select Wednesdays and Saturdays, it's the $1,000 Win Your Way drawings.
Must be 21 to enter. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9700. 858-9966.
This is possibly the biggest Honda sale in Ohio.
Lindsay Honda's Trade-a-thon is on. Trade your car, truck, boat, or even motorcycle now. Drive a gas-sipping new 2026 Civic Hatchback Hybrid Sport Touring. A very low $279 a month. Or a new 2026 CRV Hybrid Trail Sport all-wheel drive. Just $369 a month. Do you want more for your trade? See Lindsay Honda now.
Trade-a-thon puts you in the driver's seat for less.
See lindsayhonda.com for details.
Working your way through that home projects list, that means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your air conditioner or furnace. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain issues? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing problems? Call the Waterworks. HVAC breakdowns? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted and certified plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Give me a mountain with lots to do. Give me the sunshine. Give me a dew. Give me something simple and true. All I need is sunshine and a cool refreshing mountain dew. So give me my good days. Give me a dew.
Grab some friends and an ice-cold Mountain Dew today.
Mountain Dew. We at The Fan have created a show where you can be a homer, a hater, or whatever you want to be. Sunday mornings at 8.
It's the Fan Call-In Show, presented by the Sportsbook at Hollywood Casino Columbus. Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, everybody, it's Berm here. Jeremy Birmingham from the Austin and Berm Show on 97.1 The Fan. Last year, I heard Austin's 40 by the 4th message just like everybody else, and I remember thinking to myself, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then I did what a lot of people do. Nothing. And that's why I like Reclaim by Awaken 180 so much now, because it's really about finally taking the advice of people who've actually done it and gotten real results. This is not people guessing. This is not people talking. People who've been there, who I finally listened to. And I dropped 35 pounds in just 7 weeks with Awaken 180. Then I lost 5 more in free maintenance mode. That's why this hits different for me now. Reclaim by Awaken 180 gives you a clear plan, a defined window, and a real finish line. And if you want a powerful goal inside that window, 40 by the 4th is right there. It's not eventually. It's not one of these days. It's right now. So maybe this year, you do what I should have done last year. Go to awaken180weightloss.com. 844-346-1800. Awaken180weightloss.com.
The Fan Poll is sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub, home of award-winning pizza and $2 tall boys. All day, every day.
Connect with the show on X at 971BFS. Jump in our YouTube chat or just send a raven. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, time for a little thing or not a thing on a first Friday. Hit it, fellas.
Thing or not a thing.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus. Find your next grill and everything you need for the master griller. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
We'll start with a little baseball here. Mariners catcher, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, was in a bit of a slump. The AL MVP runner-up had a Seattle record 60 home runs and 125 RBI last season. This year, he's batting just 166 with 7 home runs and 18 RBI in 40 games. On Tuesday, Raleigh snapped an 0-for-38 slump with 2 singles in a 10-2 rout of the Astros. He said his Seattle teammate Logan Gilbert told him to shower in full uniform after Monday night's 0-for-4 performance against Houston. From Raleigh, quote, Logan gave me some good advice to wash off the bad mojo or juju from the baseball gods. So yeah, it worked. He was right. I got to give him credit where credit's due. Thing or not a thing?
We're all weird, aren't we, man? Like
baseball players are the weirdest.
They are. They are quirky. They definitely have a lot of this stuff in them. I think any sport, baseball like golf, is so solid. It's a team sport, so unlike golf, it's not. It's an individual sport. But in the end, it is that man on the mound versus you in the box. And there's a mental thing to that. There's silence in baseball. Even think about the guys who have the yips, like throwing to first base. Like you're sitting there in your head waiting for a play, and then it comes to you, and when you think about it, then you get cooked. So there aren't many things in sport like that. Golf's like that. I think punters and kickers can get like that. Like mentally, they can get it. Everything else happens so fast, it's hard to get the yips. Free throws, Nick Anderson, Markel Fultz, free throws, you can get the yips because there's a solitary part to it. So whatever you need to break free of that stuff, God bless you.
It is amazing how superstitious baseball players all are. I think there's a couple things to factor in here with Cal Raleigh. And last year he played more baseball than he has in his career. Now, he's had a slow progression up to this, but he played 159 games last year and then 12 games in the postseason. So it was the most games he's ever played, and he's a catcher. And I know he played most of those games at catcher, and that takes a toll on your legs. And if your legs are fatigued or weak, you are not going to hit the baseball well. And I don't know, after playing those games, like, we don't know what his offseason was like if he had some procedures done medically that he needed to, or if he just needed to take time off and get away, and that changed his ramp up to the season. The one thing this dude has done, though, is always hit, so I think he's going to be fine. It's probably just a normal baseball slump that he's going through, but maybe get Cal Raleigh at DH a couple more games here to get his legs back.
We'll do the whole thing here, and then I'll have you guys just react to it all. In an interview with Matt Hayes of USA Today, Texas head coach Steve Sarkisian said this about academics in Austin. At Texas, we only take 50% of a player's academic credit hours. You may be a semester from graduating, but you're going all the way back to 50% if you play here and want a degree. But at Ole Miss, they can take you. All you have to do is take basket weaving, and you can get an Ole Miss degree, end quote. Been a rough 10 days for the Runnin' Rebels. In an interview last week with Vanity Fair, they had this to say about Lane Kiffin and his time in Oxford. Quote, when he was coaching there, Kiffin says top recruits would tell him, hey, coach, we really like you, but my grandparents aren't letting me move to Oxford, Mississippi. That doesn't come up when you say Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Parents were sitting here this weekend saying the campus's diversity feels so great. Quote, it feels like there's no segregation.
Jeez.
Lane Kiffin told On3 on Tuesday, quote, I really apologize if anybody at Ole Miss or in Mississippi was offended by that. I was asked questions about the differences in recruiting, and I said a narrative that we battled there from some out-of-state black parents and grandparents not wanting their kid to move to Mississippi. That's a narrative that coaches have been fighting forever. It wasn't calculated by bringing it up, end quote. Thing or not a thing?
Well, this is thing or not a thing, but that's not the real truth. It was completely calculated. I think it is way below the belt for Kiffin. I honestly, I think it's appalling to do this and to make it this way. And yes, I'm sure there is a generation that there's some of that, and I'm sure that that's happened at some point. But my guess is that would happen at almost any SEC school, and in regard to a certain types of parents. Like, how often did this really come up? I just have a hard time believing it. So I think it's deplorable what Kiffin did here and acting like he's all of a sudden some sort of, that's his number one, most important thing, and then this half-assed apology. The Sark one, on that one, we only take 50% of a player's academic credit hours. You may be a semester from graduating, but you're going all the way back to 50% if you play here and want a degree.
I've never heard anybody else say anything remotely close to that.
I don't know what that means. We only take 50% of a player's academic credit hours. Does that mean that, like, when they're in school they're only half students? I don't understand what he's saying here. I'm asking. I really don't know.
And I think it's when they transfer, whatever they did at the institution, it only transfers about 50% to UT credits.
Okay. All right. So that part, that's the context of, now that makes sense. That what he's saying is Texas is such an elite academic school, and it is, that if you come in there, we're on a transfer, we can usually only take about 50%. Okay, well, that's fine. That's fine. It's a shot at Ole Miss, which leads me, and this all goes back to something I said earlier, leads me to believe that Ole Miss is winning some battles in the transfer portal and in recruiting against Texas and LSU, which means they're punching above their weight.
So this is all a major thing. When you say it wasn't calculated, chances are it was calculated, Lane. Because you've already thought of this. And I'm with you. I wonder how many times that exact situation that he just referenced actually came up. I'm guessing it didn't. And if it ever did, when they put the check on the table, everything was okay. This seems like a Lane Kiffin is trying to derail recruiting for Ole Miss, who is a competitor of his now. You left there, and you chose to go to LSU, and now it seems like you're trying to sink. Maybe you didn't think you got as many players from there as you wanted in the transfer portal. Maybe Pete Golding did a really good job of keeping his guys there. It just seems really petty from Lane Kiffin to go this route and try to undermine Ole Miss, as we talked about earlier, a university that helped you get yourself and your coaching career back on track. The Sarkisian thing is very interesting, and when any of these coaches ever talk about academics, every school has somewhere along the lines, some way, somehow, gotten a recruit that they wanted into their school. They've gotten around academic requirements somehow. However they did that, they've done that. So I don't know this holier-than-thou type act with your academics at Texas. I'm guessing there's a lot of guys that probably couldn't have got into school normally, got into school at Texas, probably on your watch, Sark. So I don't, and why is Texas worried about Ole Miss?
I don't know.
Like, you're bigger than that, aren't you? You're better than that. I don't understand. I don't understand a lot of what Steve Sarkisian does anyway, but his crusade this fall, or I guess Texas's crusade, because it was Will Muschamp that took a shot at Ole Miss, I believe, earlier this offseason. I don't understand it. Texas is making themselves small doing this.
I agree. I don't understand it either, but they must be viewed as a threat, or you don't do it, right? You don't put their name coming out of your mouth. Final hour of the program coming up next. 11:30, Dave Shedloski is going to join us with a preview of the PGA Championship at Aronimink, which starts tomorrow over in PA. We kick off the hour with a little bit of Hey Guys. Still some time to get your questions into the fellas at 971-BFS on the X platform. Also, we'll take them live in the YouTube chat. That's coming up next. Bishop and Friends, right here on The Fan.
Matty Ice has a large tattoo on his calf of LeBron eating a lion. I have nothing else to say. Rothman and Ice.
Weekdays from noon to 3.
The Fan.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Tired of snoring? Sleep Better Columbus can help with a custom mouthpiece that opens your airway and stops the snoring. No mask, no noise. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com today. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
No one plans to get into an accident, but when it happens, we strive in making life easier for you. This is Justin Hinderer. The Hinderer Motor Company Collision Center is ICAR certified and certified by many manufacturers to provide the best quality repair available. All of our repairs come with a lifetime warranty. We have our own 24/7 towing service, so you never have to wait. Plus, we offer on-site rental cars for every lifestyle. At Hinderer Motor Company, we love what moves you.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
I met my wife in law school at the University of Florida. She was from upstate New York and I was from Kentucky. We met at a daily mass at St. Augustine's. She was the most beautiful girl I'd ever seen in my life. After communion, I followed her out of the church and got her phone number. The rest is history. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Little did we know that one day we would have 4 children and the largest injury firm in the world. All 4 work in the business. It's a family business. Did I ever see this coming? Hell no. We just worked very hard and treated our clients like we would want to be treated, like family. It's a full-service injury firm, auto accidents, medical malpractice, workers' compensation, Social Security, and insurance disputes. We're open 24/7, 365 days a year. Visit forthepeople.com and we can get to work on your case. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, for the people. Injured? Dial pound law.
Morgan & Morgan, Ohio office located at 600 Vine Street, Cincinnati. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Listen, at some point you stopped calling it pain. You just started calling it, well, this is just how I am now. Deep down, you know it's not okay, but you want to get back to the normal you, not this new normal you've been living with. Well, there's a place you can do it, and there's a guy that can help you out. Dr. Ray Tesler and his team at QC Kinetics and their regenerative treatments for joint pain located in Dublin and Gahanna, they can help you out. They helped me out. They helped out my father. They're going to help you with whatever joint pain that you have. They're going to come in with this arthritis in a knee, a hip, a shoulder, a back. You can't move. You don't sleep as well. You want to get back to golfing and running, and you don't want to have surgery or a long recovery. The science is real. The treatments are natural. Your body knows how to heal itself. Let QC Kinetics get the tools to your body to help it get better. No operating room, no hardware, and you can get out this summer and have a good time. So listen, the longer it lasts, you need to get it taken care of. So go to qckinetics.com/Columbus or go to 380-208-4544.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. There's a lot of window companies out there. If you need window replacement, I want you to go with my guys, the guys that I trust, Universal Windows Direct, because right now when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free. And there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, 24 months with no payments and no interest and a $500 bonus off your home improvement project. Schedule your free in-home estimate today. Call 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. At Germain Toyota of Columbus, it's all about you, your drive, your style, and your budget. Stop in and see Marcello. He'll get you rolling. Germain Toyota of Columbus on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road. Or check them out online at germaintoyota.net.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on oil?
We've got many markdowns on oil.
How about on that new STP Any Mileage?
You'll save $5 when you buy 5 quarts of STP Any Mileage with an oil filter and get up to 5,000 miles of protection.
Heck of a markdown for quite a lot of miles.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is a job for sponsored jobs.
This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hey, it's T-Bone again. Sleep apnea doesn't have to rule your nights. Sleep Better Columbus has been treating snoring and sleep apnea for over 15 years with proven results and now has an office open in Marysville. Call 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or go to sleepbettercolumbus.com. Stop snoring, sleep better, live better.
Broadcasting live from the McDaniel GM Superstore Studios. Driving excellence since 1916. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. WBNS HD1 Columbus.
Good morning. I'm Eric Reeser. The entire 2026 NFL schedule will be released tomorrow night at 8. The league slow drips some games into our veins today. A Week 11 contest in Mexico City between the Niners and Vikings. That'll be Sunday Night Football on November 22nd. San Francisco's in Australia for Week 1 against the LA Rams. Real Madrid's Bernabeu will host a Week 9 matchup between the Bengals and Falcons. That'll kick at 9:30 in the morning of November 8th. In baseball today, the Guardians look to break out the brooms on the Angels. Cleveland will host Los Angeles at 1:10. Guardians sit atop the AL Central at 23-21. The Reds are 22-20. They'll host the Nationals tonight at 6:40 in Game 2 of their series. Cincinnati lost Game 1 at home last night 10-4. In the NBA tonight, the Pistons host the Cavs in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference semis. Cleveland's won the last 2 in the series. The best of 7's tied at 2 games apiece. Wednesday's tip-off's 8 o'clock. Cleveland's going to host Game 6 on Friday. This update is sponsored by the Waterworks and Header Plumbing, Drain, Heating, and Cooling. Together to serve you better. Schedule at thewaterworks.net.
Our top men are working on everything except this show.
We have top men working on it right now. Who? Top men.
You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
All right, we'll get to Hey Guys in just a second. Brandon Marcello, we've had him on the program before, has this quote from Jim Phillips at the ACC. I've been very consistent in what I've indicated. When you're leaving national championship contending teams out of the playoff, you don't have the right number. That's one of his lines of defense on the 2014 playoff. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We're leaving a lot of them out. There were a lot of teams last year that didn't make it that had a chance to win it. I'm sure he's going to lean on Notre Dame in this thing, which isn't even, they're not even an ACC team, for God's sakes.
I guess you got to toe the line because your conference champion didn't make it. And if you think of yourself as a true Power 4 and the conference champion's left out, then you probably are going to come out and say some nonsense. Because your conference champion was 7.
And be like, Duke.
You kind of, it's like there's the meme out there, the guy putting on the clown makeup. That's the commissioner of the Atlantic Coast Conference.
Mr. Phillips, don't have a 5-loss team win your conference. It's real simple. It's real simple.
It is. That's it. It isn't hard. Here's his quote. So I was right in part. When you're leaving national championship contending teams out of the playoff, you don't have the right number. We lived through it. We suffered through it with Florida State when the field was 4. Notre Dame was a college football playoff worthy team. So he's not even going to bat for Duke. He's going to bat for Notre Dame.
The Florida State one is understandable.
I think they got it right. They didn't
I
have
do
their
too.
first or second quarterbacks, so I mean that's part of the job.
Mr. Phillips, you and your buddies screwed Notre Dame by making sure a team in your conference, Miami, got in.
That's true. They could have kicked out.
So if you wanted Notre Dame in, you should have went to your guys and said, hey, Miami doesn't need to be in this year. Notre Dame deserves it.
Yeah.
Notre Dame beat them or lost. It's just...
Yeah, yeah. Come on, they just talk out of both sides of their mouths on a consistent basis. All right, time to open up a little bit of hey guys, hit it, fellas.
Nothing is off limits. Your participation is required. Just use the hashtag #HeyGuys and ask anything you want. Do it now.
Sponsored by High Bank Distillery Co. Great food, award-winning drinks, and something for everyone in the family. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
It was a real great job out of Ohio State for dropping the new scarlet uniforms with gray on the sleeves on a first Friday. You call it a miracle edition of the program. This is really the miracle edition of at least programs in the year 2026. We're taking Hey Guys on Twitter and on YouTube. A lot have to do with Ohio State uniforms. This from Hunter at 971 BFS. Hey guys, take away Jeremiah, who is going to have the most swag in these perfect uniforms.
Boy, that's a good one.
The model they used wasn't bad. You'll be a Heisman contender.
I mean, the quarterback is always a layup. That's a little bit of a cheat code. So let me think here. Without Jeremiah, so you have to think about a couple of things. You got to think about number. You got to think about like a Bo Jackson 25 is going to have a certain amount of juice to it. I think folks are going to love Peyton Pearson at 26. If he's still in that, I think he still is. Devin Sanchez in 6 is going to have a little bit of juice to him as well. Yeah, those are some. We got some new. Last year, had they done this last year, my God, you couldn't. You'd be selling Blockos, and you'd be selling, so many of them. Number 8, number 2, number 4. So many that are available. I mean, even Carnell, 17. So we got some new guys we got to learn. But I would say you're going to see a lot of 4s, 10s, and 25s in the mix.
So there were a couple guys that popped into my head right away, one of which you mentioned, Bo, Devin Sanchez. Mm-hmm. The other one is Chris Henry Jr. in that 15. I've talked about him in that 15 and how good it looks anyway. And listen, Julian obviously is a Heisman finalist, but the correct answer is the other guy modeling the jersey, and that's Jermaine Matthews.
7.
Outside of Jeremiah, nobody has more swag than Jermaine Matthews, and that's 7. He's going to look good in that jersey this year.
Yeah.
All right, we'll go over to the YouTube chat. I saw this from Alex. Hey, guys, if you could have any sports superpower, what would you pick? He gives some examples. Hitting like Bonds, golfing like Tiger, punching like Mike Tyson.
I'm going to give you one more that just stumped in. You're going to see a lot of Bay number 2. Because that's just going to look, 2 is cool, and just Bay on the back. Kenyatta wears 2 this year, too. I forgot about that. He switched to 2. The superpower I would want would be, it's easily anything to do with golf. If I could drive it like Rory for just one day. Just one day. Well, although he was wild at Augusta. But Rory straight, like Rory normal. If I could just hit bombs down the middle for one day, I would play 72 holes. I would play from sunup to sundown and have the time of my life because I cannot ever hit driver straight. And if I could do that and hit bombs, it'd be the most fun. All the other stuff, like I've punched someone in my life. I don't have that type of anger anymore. I'm a man. I'm 40. I'm not punching anybody anymore. And then from what was the other one? The LeBron thing? Was it basketball?
That was hitting like Barry Bonds.
Oh, hitting like Bonds. I mean, I can hit a baseball. I can't hit it like Bonds. I could shoot. I can't shoot like Steph, but every once in a while I can hit 5 or 6 threes if I'm in a row playing with the boys. So like that's a regular thing. I can't drive a golf ball 340 yards, and I'd love to.
So I have been in my life, maybe not right now, but I have been in my life a pretty good driver of the golf ball and a guy that would hit it 300 consistently. I've even hit a couple 340 in my life when I caught it really well. So I have no use for that. Now, hitting a baseball, I can do, like I could hit a softball pretty far. Not Barry Bonds, obviously, but I've hit plenty of home runs in my life in that, so I'm okay with that. One thing I've never really had is the strongest arm. So if I could zip one up there like Chase Burns once or twice, that might be fun. And I'm with you, Bo. There's not a lot of times in my life where I want to throw hands.
Yeah.
But having that in your back pocket's pretty good if push comes to shove. So I'd like to drop someone like Mike Tyson.
As you were talking about dropping somebody like Tyson into the situation to throw hands, I was thinking to myself, like, what is the one circumstance that I consistently put myself in where there's the best chance I could throw hands? And sadly enough, it's youth sports.
Youth sports,
right? You're almost in the octagon every weekend.
I really am. I mean, that's the only. I mean, it never gets to that point, but I've seen people around it get to that point. I've seen fist fights. I've seen people shove refs. I've seen all that stuff. That is such a sad commentary on the state of youth sports that the first thing that came to my mind in terms of how could you find yourself in a violent situation is youth sports, coaching youth sports.
You almost got to lean into it and bring like a ring bell chime on your phone. When it happens, you're just back there.
God, what a mess.
I thought about
like the little from Friday, you got knocked out. Have that there.
I thought about, as you guys were talking, like the ability to run like Ted Ginn Jr. and just how effortless, like him and Calvin Johnson, just Barry Sanders. Now that I'm thinking of some of like the best pure runners. I don't know about Barry because I don't want to get hit.
Well, Reese, what about you run? Can you like?
Well,
didn't
I don't
that guy
run
just
fast.
No, but the guy just
Grandview all the time.
Like forever, the guy did the first
sub 2 hour.
Is it sub 2 hour marathon?
Sub 2 hour marathon, yeah.
First time ever, just happened a couple of weeks ago.
How is that possible?
I don't know. The crazy thing is, like, it hasn't changed that. It's minuscule amounts of improvement, but the idea that somehow you could run 26 and a half miles
almost
in under 2 hours. What must that feel like? Is that almost a 7? No. You're going
4.5 minutes for the mile time.
What is your mile time?
Oh, mine's 9 minutes.
No. What is this guy's mile?
This guy's would be around 4 minutes. 4.5 minutes.
4-minute miles.
4.5
for 26 and a half miles.
If you can do that for one, it's impressive.
Oh my God, dude! I haven't been able to do this for one since I was 16. I don't even know if I could do it then.
And if
I just can't
the
imagine
videos are
that.
out there, they make it look so effortless. Like the ability to just glide on the pavement like that.
How many miles? So you have to do. It's 4 miles. Yeah, is that right?
For the average for the under 2 hours for a marathon, yeah, you got to do about 4.5 minutes.
Good grief, that's crazy.
Sticking with the YouTube chat real quick. Jay asks, hey guys, with all the jersey talk going on, what was your first professional jersey? He says he got an AJ Hawk Green Bay Packers one that was about 4 sizes too big.
Oh, he's young. He's just a wee lad. The first one I had was a Terry Bradshaw.
Oh, that makes me want to puke.
Me too, in retrospect. My parents loved the Steelers because, again, where I grew up, you liked who was good when you were young, and the Steelers were good in the 70s. So there's a video of me, and I have it somewhere. It's like threadbare, but there's a video of NBC in it because we had him in it when he was really little because I wore it when I was a kid. But yeah, it was a Terry Bradshaw 12 was the first jersey I had.
So I'm guessing I had to have had when I was little, and I just don't remember. I had to have had some kind of Cleveland Browns jersey when I was young, that my parents got for me. Speaking of AJ Hawk jerseys, by the way, I have one with the tags hanging in my closet right now. I need to get AJ to sign.
Oh, there you go.
That'd be good. But
that would be cool.
The first jersey I actually remember professional jersey ever buying, we were out at JCPenney Outlet, and I was a big Larry Johnson fan, and I got a Charlotte Hornets number 2 Larry Johnson jersey, and I wore that thing to death.
Yeah, those were very cool.
Growing up in Columbus, you had a ton of Ohio State jerseys. So I had like a Maurice Clarett Fiesta Bowl branded one. I had a Ted Ginn one. My first professional sports team jersey, outside of the Blue Jackets, I think, a Braylon Edwards Cleveland Browns jersey that my grandma got me for a joke. At least I want to think it was.
Well, he had one great year.
He did.
Then he messed with LeBron's entourage, and that was the end of it.
Don't punch LeBron's friends.
This was the number I was looking for in the sub 2-hour marathon. He was going 15 miles per hour.
Oh, okay, yeah.
15 miles per hour for 2 hours and covered 26 and a half miles.
Which I believe, what do they say, Reese? What is it 17 miles an hour normally somebody can do for like 1 mile?
Yeah. Like
But
a
he
top
did
speed doing
15
one.
for 2
Yeah.
straight.
15 miles an hour for 2 hours.
Wow.
Straight.
And when he's done, I mean, he is obviously exhausted, but really doesn't look it.
No, I just challenge you. Just go get on a treadmill and set it at 15 and see how long you can go right now. We'll continue. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
If you miss a live show, you can catch the podcast. If you miss the podcast, our hosts have volunteered to have dinner with you.
Ma, the meatloaf!
The Fan.
When it comes to your roof, there's really one team to call, Newman Roofing. From the first call to the final nail, our team of professionals will be there every step of the way, answering any questions you have throughout the entire process. So give Newman Roofing a call today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit us online at newmanroofing.com.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. Now is the time to call Comer & Cross and transform your garage with a gleaming new Comer & Cross garage floor. Maybe your garage floor has exposed concrete with stains and cracks or a bad epoxy or paint job. Well, a new Comer & Cross garage floor will transform your entire garage in just one day. Now, here's the great part of this whole story. If you call them right now, they're going to take 50% off installation. Yeah, that's right, 50% off installation from Comer & Cross when you call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. A Comer & Cross garage floor is the gold standard, guaranteed to never chip, crack, or show tire lift like epoxy or paint ever. Plus, they make it easy. They'll take your stuff out of the garage for you. They'll fix your cracks and pits perfectly like it's a new garage floor, and then they'll apply the proprietary finish that you pick. Yeah, I said it. They'll fix your cracks and pits. What's wrong with that? That's what you want. So call them today at 1-800-NEW-FLOOR to get 50% off installation. That's 1-800-NEW-FLOOR. Or go to comercross.com.
Grilling season starts now at Billiards Plus. Shop top-of-the-line grills and turn every cookout into a win. Then bring the fun inside with pool tables, shuffleboard, and more. Everything for the ultimate game room. Billiards Plus. Grills, games, and good times. Online or on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
This is Gordon Miller from Miller Lending, the original home of the no-cost mortgage. If you've been in the market for a new home or just wanted to take advantage of lower rates, recent events have shown exactly why Miller Lending chose to offer a way around bad timing with our no closing cost program. With no fees rolled in or charged, including the cost of title insurance, you can simply close on today's rates and refinance free of charge as rates improve. Over the past several months, we spoke to numerous borrowers who had heard rates were coming down and chose to wait. We explained that if rates did fall, you could simply update a few documents and refinance again, but why take the chance? So when rates spiked a 0.5% recently, not only was I disappointed that we couldn't help those who waited, but also for those buying a home who just saw a sharp increase to their monthly payment. So while we can't control the market, we can offer an alternative. Eliminate timing and say goodbye to closing costs forever. 877-9-NO-COST or simply apply online at nocostmortgage.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender and MLS number 250-2146.
Common Man and Timmy. Voted America's dumbest show by Marconi voters. Common Man is a Columbus radio legend. And by legend, I mean it's a miracle he hasn't been fired yet. And Timmy is, well, Timmy will complain about anything and everything. And he kind of looks like a woman. Giggity, giggity, giggity. So there's that. Common Man and Timmy.
Sponsored by Hinderer Motor Company.
Weekday afternoons from 3 to 6 on The Fan. The Fan has a secret radio station. It's called The Fan 2. You can listen to the Bob and Tom Show, Jim Rome, and Buckeye stuff. Why do they pay me big money to whisper? The Fan 2 is on the Fan's HD2 channel and streaming on the Fan app. You're welcome.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, commercial properties. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Feeling stressed or overwhelmed? Not sure how to get the mental health help you need? We've got your back. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442. We'll help you figure out what mental health benefits may be in your health plan. No more confusion, just the support you deserve. Call the Mental Health Insurance Assistance Office at 855-438-6442.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
A mix of sun and clouds for us today, and a little bit cooler with highs into the upper 60s to low 70s, but we will have breezy winds and an isolated chance of showers. For tonight, mostly cloudy with our overnight lows in the 40s, and then for Thursday, mostly cloudy, turning sunny and cooler with highs in the mid to low 60s and breezy winds. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfolo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
If the sound of another man slammed against plexiglass turns you on, you've come to the right place. Proud to be your home for Jackets hockey. The Fan, Ohio sports destination. 10 feet tall and bulletproof isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
And join us for the Fan 5K, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. It's a 5K run, 1 mile walk. It's happening Saturday, June 20th at Otterbein. Some of your favorite fan personalities will be there, including Brother Bone and Tyvus, Man, and Timmy Hall. Reese will be there as well. Yes, 10 TV's Adam King and Nicole Sheeran will be running the race in silly outfits. King, let's be smarter this time. Like, we don't need to
just wear regular running clothes.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, I've heard.
Just a T-shirt and shorts.
I've heard what's coming. It's ridiculous.
He said some stuff yesterday with Rothman and Cole that it was honestly must listen.
Was it?
It was, yeah, kind of. I was texting AR. I'm like, this is the greatest radio I've ever heard.
They deserved hazard pay. I wasn't wrong
for
with
sure.
that.
Yeah, it was like you guys wouldn't get this right. Kind of like a Gallagher routine. He just kept throwing all sorts of stuff that was just crazy at him. Like, I didn't even know what the hell was going on.
And the General's in with Rothman today.
Okay, so sanity will be in store.
But the Gallagher show, but the front row didn't have the plastic sheets.
No plastic. They just taking shrapnels of watermelon. Every participant gets a finisher's medal, a race T-shirt, free photos, and awesome gifts from Logan Services. The Fan 5K is presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center. Sign up today at 971therace.com. All right, back to the Hey Guys, Reese.
All right, so we're still getting them in via the YouTube chat, and you can still send them in at 971BFS if you're able to tweet. This from Chris. Hey, guys, I got pulled into coaching my kid in flag football, 5 6-year-old players. I enjoyed coaching the young men. Watching them grow in confidence was fantastic. What advice would you give a new coach? And I should say not 5 or 6-year-olds, 5th or 6th graders. 5th or 6th graders.
Right. So I always start every new team with my 3 rules, and I really coach to this. This is really it. Number one thing at that level especially, and younger even more absolutely, the number one rule I have is listen. So this is the first thing I say to every team I coach. Listen. So what does that mean? That means coach is talking, you're not talking. Where should your eyes be when a coach is talking? On the coach. Yep, that's it. That's rule number 1. Number 2 is just try hard. You're not going to be great at everything. Like, there's going to be stuff you struggle with. There's certain skills that others are going to be better at than you, but just give your best. And if you give your best, that's all that I'm going to ask for of you. I'm not going to ask you to do everything perfectly. Nobody can be perfect. That's not it at all. Just try your best. And the third one is have fun. And the cool thing about it is if you do the first 2 things, the third one is a layup. If you listen and you try your best, you're going to have a ton of fun. And that is kind of I tell that to every team I coach at the beginning of every single practice. The listening one I am non-negotiable on. And it's a little bit like breaking a wild stallion. You got to be kind of harsh in the beginning with it. So like what I do the first couple of practices is I have absolutely zero tolerance on anything in regard to not listening. If you're not listening, if you're talking when I'm talking or another coach is talking, if you're not listening, then we just run. Like I just say, get on the line. Get on the line, and we run. And then if you do that for like the first 2 practices, it's done. It's done. Like you never have to deal with it again. So that's my advice on that. But the listening is, you really got to, and you have to. Here's the other thing. This is something some folks don't like to hear. I don't really care. Kids like structure. They like being coached. They like being told what to do. They like given rules to live by. They need it, quite honestly, as much as they like it. But they really like it. And just be positive with things. There's time to be harsh, time to be positive. You got to build that trust. But yeah, it's the most rewarding thing I've ever done. Truly, I absolutely love it, even when I hate it.
I think the biggest thing in all of that is have fun. Chances are, 5th or 6th grade, none of these kids are playing pro ball. Maybe 1 or 2 of them are going to go to college and play a sport. So just make sure you're having fun. Make it an enjoyable experience for them, something that they can learn and grow with and just have a good time.
I'm going to buttress that with one other point. Be aware of how good your team is. So have them play against similar competition, because you know what isn't fun? Losing and getting your brains beat in. That's not fun. And I don't care. You can have the best personality ever. You can take them to all the Dairy Queens you want for blizzards and all of that stuff. But if you are getting beat up physically and losing, you lose kids. So make sure you play against the appropriate teams. And shame on any of you who are taking youth teams and playing them down to try to hang banners. Shameful stuff. Knock that crap off.
That's
you know, if you're an A team, a B team, a C team, play in the appropriate bracket.
They don't learn anything by beating someone by 80 points.
No, they don't. It's a joke.
JB asks on the YouTube chat, hey guys, with all the talk of eliminating conference championship games for an expanded playoff, if Ohio State goes 12-0 this season, should they opt out of the Big Ten championship to rest as the 1 seed?
Well, these are the type of things that I hate, and these are the type of things, though, that we're headed towards. There was no reason for Ohio State to play Indiana. We don't hang Big Ten banners around here. There's no reason to do it. You could have just said, we'll see you in the playoff, I hope that we get this solved before something like this actually happens. I hope we do, but I'm not optimistic.
I was thinking about this the other day when we were talking about it, and we ran out of time, and I think we had a guest, and it just kind of went away. But why not make the conference championship games the first round of the playoff? You win, you continue. You lose, you're out. And I know what they're going to say. Well, if I finish second in the Big Ten, what about the 3rd and 4th place teams that finish behind me that are in? Well, that goes to my point that it's too damn big. Sure. And we don't need all these teams into it. But just make the conference championship games round 1.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I do. I'm not with you on that, but I do think that the Pate thing that Austin and I were talking about would work. Where it was like if you had 24. I mean, it's great. Let's keep it at 16 for a second. And you were said, okay, you get 3 automatic bids in the Big Ten, 3 automatic bids in the SEC, 2 in the Big 12, 2 in the ACC. That gets you to 8 automatic bids, right? You have 2 more play-in games. You have 2 play-in games in the ACC and the Big Ten. That would net you 2 more teams, and now we're at 10. You do 1 play-in game for the ACC and the Big 12. That would get you to 12, and then it's 4 at-larges who did not play in that 1 group of 5, whatever, however you want it to break down, however you want the math to work. That I could have some interest in. If you took the 4 or the 4 team and had them play, the 7 and the 5 play the 6, and 2 of those get to play to the playoff, okay, fine. Because why? That's more high-leverage games with stakes. I'm a fan of that. So if you want to do that, then I'm good. I hate the idea of number 1 playing number 2 like we saw last year, and then both of those teams getting byes, and then so what are we doing? That to me, I think you need to have games that really matter, and to do more of those, I think that gives you a chance. And again, I'm not really for any of this expansion.
Craig asks in the YouTube chat, hey guys, back to the opening of the show and the anniversary of Top Gun. What 3 movies should be shared with every generation? And just real quick, as I was thinking about that, I have Caddyshack, the original Jurassic Park, and Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I have no problem with Raiders of the Lost Ark. My kids have not seen Caddyshack yet. That's
probably still too young, but
too young for the unrated version. Yeah, I think Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think Back to the Future. From my era, like Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future, and Commando.
Commando's a hell of a pull.
It's great.
This is such a good one.
Die Hard.
I feel like, and I'm just going to go like movies here that meant a lot to me over the years that I watch all the time. Like Wedding Crashers has to go on forever. Doesn't it?
Yeah,
like
I think it'll be like Caddyshack. Yeah, I think it'll be like Caddyshack. Like it'll be our Animal House. I think it'll be there forever.
I feel the same about Tommy Boy as well. Like I think, and that's kind of in the same realm there, like the slapstick comedy type
That one has disappeared a little bit. Like, you don't see that one fed to you much. I don't know where it's streaming. I don't see that one pop up as much. You have to seek out.
It used to come on a lot on USA and other things, but
I'll give you another one that's disappeared a lot is Austin Powers.
Yeah, that's one.
And those were massive. I'm curious. I might have NBC watch that and see if it takes.
And this one I still think you get, especially around the Christmas time, but I think Home Alone should stand forever.
Yep. I'm fine, and it will. That one will stay forever.
One that just shot up to the top of my head because Robin Williams has been gone for a while, Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah. You know, speaking of Robin Williams, Good Will Hunting kind of should be around. There's no notes on that one. That one's pretty damn good. As long as you see Commando, that one you really need to see. We'll get a preview of the PGA Championship with our buddy Dave Shedloski of the Golf Digest and, of course, the Memorial Magazine. We'll get his opinion on what to expect this week outside of Philly. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or usainsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Get comfortable with Logan Services. Get a free water heater with the purchase of a qualifying train system when you schedule your installation now. Find us online to schedule your free estimate. Fast, friendly service, Logan Services.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Markdowns for Miles at AutoZone.
Got any markdowns on oil?
We've got many markdowns on oil.
How about on that new STP Any Mileage?
You'll save $5 when you buy 5 quarts of STP Any Mileage with an oil filter and get up to 5,000 miles of protection.
Heck of a markdown for quite a lot of miles.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like customer service associate at a dry cleaning shop.
Yeah, hi. I'm here to pick up my suit.
Ah, yes. Here you go.
There must be a mistake. This is too small.
It shrunk a whole lot. Look on the bright side. Now you have a suit you can give to a child.
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
How do you make a UDF ice cream quake? Easy. Pick any flavor of UDF ice cream, add your favorite mix-ins, and you've got a quake. Now, how do you pick your flavors and mix-ins? That's the hard part. Ice cream quakes, only at United Dairy Farmers.
Bishop and Friends is sponsored by Diamond Seller, your true jeweler for almost 80 years. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
The perfect show for quarter zips and khaki shorts. You're listening to Bishop and Friends.
Well, I got to admit, it snuck up on me, the PGA Championship this week. It's been in this May window for a while. I'm still not all the way used to it. We'll see if our next guest is. He's a great friend of the program, one of the best guys you're ever going to meet. Dave Shedloski joins us, Golf Digest, Memorial Magazine. We'll see him out at Muirfield here in a couple of weeks. Dave, how does this sit for you? You're more used to it than me, certainly, but it popped up and all of a sudden, middle of May, we're going to do a major now. Is this working?
Oh, that's a great question, Bo. Good morning to you. I'm not a big fan of this middle of May thing. It really kind of, in fact, I even asked a couple of guys yesterday about would you prefer to have the old gap where we had Masters and some time off, and then it was U.S. Open, British Open, PGA in the summer that seemed more natural. And, they realize it is kind of scrunched together. It puts a little more pressure on them, and Rory McIlroy in particular said it should move back to August. So I'm with him.
Why did it move, Dave?
Well, the PGA Tour wanted to finish up before football its sort of FedEx Cup, quote unquote, regular season. So they couldn't do that with the PGA in August. So they moved the players, which had been in March, and moved to May. They moved it back from May into March again, and then that opened up the slot to where they could put the PGA Championship in May. And, now they have the FedEx Cup playoffs in August, and and get that out of the way. And yet we still have golf on the PGA Tour into November. I mean, it's kind of screwy, but the regular season is over before the NFL really, and college football really get rolling. And, there's all sorts of problems I see with it, but we can talk about that another time.
I agree. There's a lot. All right. So the next thing is I had never heard of this course, Aronimink. I had not heard of it. And I was watching Golf Channel last night, and they did a really fascinating thing about the history of Philadelphia golf and all that comes with it. Have you been to this course previous to now?
It's great that I was excited about this particular PGA simply because I hadn't been here before, and it does have a great history. Gary Player had won the PGA here back in 1962, and that was the third leg of his career Grand Slam. And there is just a lot of great history with Philadelphia golf and the architects that have come from this area and Aronimink itself. So, it's a cool place. I like it.
One thing that I saw consistently with this, and you and I had this conversation last year when you were at Oakmont, and again, this is something that is happening in the sport. They took down a bunch of trees, a ton of them. Yeah. Gil Hands did it at the place you're at now. Andrew Green did this at Congo, and so this is, among other places, I mean, this is happening all over the sport. One of the conversations that I think I'm curious to hear your opinion on is, if you take out all of the trees, and I understand the health of the course and all of that, and how that all jumps up when you take out some of the trees, and the ease of play for the membership. But then how do you find the sweet spot when you have something like this where trees can be punitive for these guys, and now they're not?
Well, you hit on a great question, and the answer is you kind of have to trick up the golf course. There's going to be some heavy rough in areas, and it's going to have that sort of, in some ways, a U.S. Open feel to it, and that's unfortunate. Look, I mean, there's two schools of thought on this, and Robert Trent Jones always thought that trees should be part of the strategy of how you play a golf course. Others are not. Look, we're going to see that at the U.S. Senior Open at Scioto, where Andrew Green took out quite a few trees as well. And I kind of go back and forth on it. Why isn't there a happy medium? Why does there have to be so many trees removed? Why can't strategic trees be, included as you see at Muirfield Village, where Jack has the memorial every year?
That's what I was going to ask you. Like, Jack has not done that at Muirfield. No. I mean, they've taken a ton down, but it's not a parkland feel like what it looks like this one is.
That's correct. And he's even added a few trees. I think about what he did say left of the fairway at 13, where guys are now bombing it over that left bunker that he never dreamed would not be in play, and it really isn't for a lot of the players. Well, if you want to go take on that bunker, he's now added a few trees behind it, between that bunker and the green, and you may get a pretty bad lie in the rough. And in addition to that, you've got to work it around a tree, and the pros know it's hard to work a golf ball out of the rough. You can't spin it as much, and so therefore that makes it trickier.
Talking to our good buddy Dave Shedloski, Golf Digest, and of course, the Memorial Magazine. Be out there in a couple of weeks. See him out there. You mentioned you got a chance to talk to Rory. Rory now in full, winning back-to-back Masters. Now you start to say, okay, how many could this go here? Have you noticed a change in him? And then in addition to that, I'm wondering, in terms of that question of the change in him, now that this live thing has basically crumbled, just kind of his spot in this time of the sport.
Well, he's certainly still one of the leaders of the sport, one of the most thoughtful players out there. And he's got his finger on the pulse of the game, even though he's not as outwardly spoken about, the PGA Tour and live golf and so forth. But, Rory's kind of living his best life right now. I mean, he went to the state dinner for the King and Queen a few weeks ago. That's why he didn't play at the Cadillac Championship. He's got like a cameo in the, Devil Wears Prada too. There's a lot of things that he's doing now to sort of enjoy life more. And, he doesn't need the money. I mean, he's one of the architects of these signature events, of which Memorial is one, and yet he doesn't play in as many of them. And so, he can pick and choose. Look, Jack did that. Arnold did that. Tiger did that. This is where he is in his career. 5 majors, a career Grand Slam. Could he get to 10 majors? I was talking to a couple of people yesterday about this. Satisfaction is actually a hard thing to overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Is he satisfied with what he's done? I don't think he is, and I think he can win more majors, and I think he will.
Yeah, me too on that, buddy. This is the first time we've...
He has 6 majors, not 5.
There you go. Yeah, make sure we count them all.
Yes,
this is the first major that's convened since we've had kind of the reality that LIV is crumbling. What has been the tone this week between PGA players, the LIV players with the PGA? Has there been any kind of resignation that okay, this is going to come, at least it's going to end in the way that it was previously thought to be done?
Yeah, you never really see much in terms of any byplay among the LIV and the PGA Tour guys that stayed home. They accept those LIV guys who have qualified for these majors. It's just fact of life. I don't think they treat them any differently. We always see pairings in which you get, the mix of the two tours. I guess if you're going to see any type of reaction, it was yesterday from John Rahm in his interview, where there was this note of sort of resignation in his voice. He's stuck. He's got a contract with LIV. If it goes on even in sort of a weaker form, we don't know if it will, but it could, I guess. He's stuck there. Whereas somebody like Bryson DeChambeau, his contract's up. He's got the timing's pretty good. Even if he can't get back on the PGA Tour, he doesn't have to stick with LIV if he doesn't want to. So, I mean, I think we're all dancing on the grave early on this, but that's sort of what it feels like is happening a bit, to some degree.
All right, Dave, who do you like this week? What type of player will have success on this course?
Yeah, usually what we've seen with some of the other events that they've had here at Aronimink, that putting really matters. Whether it was Justin Rose in 2010 at AT&T, when it was the AT&T National, Keegan Bradley when he won in 2018 in the BMW Championship. They putted well that week. But I think given that the golf course isn't really that long at 7,300 and change, it's going to be wedge game, and how many of these guys can put the ball, close to the hole or on the right quadrants of these greens. And so, do I like Jordan Spieth going for the career Grand Slam? He's a good wedge player. I think that Scotty is certainly, for all of his many talents, is a very good wedge player. Scotty Scheffler, world number 1. And Sam Burns, man, the last few majors, his wedge game has really come out. Those are the kind of guys I'm looking at.
Beautiful stuff. Greatly appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for giving us some of your time. We'll see you in a couple of weeks out at Jack's place.
Oh, I look forward to it. Thank you so much.
All right, there he goes, Jay Shedloski. Golf Digest and the Memorial Magazine joining us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Get your officially endorsed in 3 things coming up next. Bishop and Friends right here on the Fan.
Unlike your deadbeat uncle, we'll never leave you stranded in a ditch when you were 6. This promo may have been a touch too specific. The Fan.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Spring is here, but if you're still feeling exhausted with no sex drive, it may be time to head to Low T Center. You can book a free testosterone test at Low T Center and see if you qualify for TRT customized to you. Head to lowtcenter.com and book your TRT appointment today.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. This is the time of year to enjoy some nice weather. Usually the temperature's pretty good. Those nice spring days where you get outside, you just feel that breeze. It's awesome. But coming soon, it's the hot, hot months of summer, and we know in those months, you're going to want your air conditioning running. You're going to want your windows to keep that cold air inside your house. You don't want to lose money running your air conditioner constantly, all because your builder grade or old windows are just not getting the job done. That's where Window Nation comes in. Window Nation's got their buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. You can replace all the windows in your home for summer and get half of them for free. Plus, you can get 0 down payment and no payments or interest for 2 years. And of course, all Window Nation windows come with a lifetime warranty, so you can relax knowing your home is protected far into the future. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule your fast free consultation now. WindowNation.com. Buy 4 windows, get 4 free sale going on now. WindowNation.com.
James Laurinaitis here for my guys at Green & Sons, the premier Kubota dealership in Central Ohio. Green & Sons has all the Kubotas you need to tackle your land and come out a winner. They have zero-turn, skid steers, tractors from 18 to 171 horsepower, and also utility vehicles. My favorite is my RTV Sidekick. The best thing about Green & Sons is they've been family-owned and operated since 1970, and you will love dealing with the Green family and their winning team. Do what I did and check out Green & Sons located in Mount Sterling and Marysville or online at greenandsons.com for all your Kubota needs.
Enjoy more ways to save at Kroger, like low prices in every aisle. And you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the Kroger app. Plus, you can earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. So it's always easy to save big. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Savings may vary by state. Fuel restrictions apply. See site for details.
You can save big on USDA Choice boneless chuck roasts. They're on sale now for just $6.99 a pound with your digital coupon. Limit 5. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Are you ready to tackle those home projects? With a home equity loan from CME Federal Credit Union, you get an introductory 3.99% APR for 12 months to make those upgrades happen. From patios to paint jobs, your home's next chapter starts at CME. Visit CMEFCU.org.
When you saw your heating bills this winter, did you think this is out of control? The problem is your house is leaking money, and the only thing higher than your heating bills are your cooling bills. Steve here from USA Insulation. Let us fix your energy bill problem for good. If you aren't foam insulated, you really aren't insulated. For $99 a month, interest-free, we'll foam your home and help cut those energy bills. 529-2440 or USAinsulation.net.
USA Insulation.
Rothman and Ice.
And I meant no disrespect.
I like disrespect. Sometimes I like a little disrespect.
Let's start there.
It's
because
okay.
Sometimes I like a little disrespect. We still talking about wrestling?
Rothman and Ice. Weekdays at noon.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus.
The Fan.
At Babs R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement. As the Midwest's fastest growing 5-star bathroom remodeler, we're more than just transformations. We're a community driven by a mission to bring your dreams to life. Our installation team, part of the Babs R Us community, isn't just skilled. They're dedicated to respecting your home. Each day, they bring craftsmanship and hustle, turning your dream space, no matter the size, into reality. Together, we embrace a culture that values diversity, collaboration, and giving back. From supporting local projects to fostering a workplace where every voice is valued, Babs R Us is more than a company. It's a community of experts. We're also expanding locations to create more possibilities for homeowners across the Midwest. Wherever you are, you'll find us ready to turn your dreams into something you can see, feel, and enjoy every day. Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, loans and no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BAB to schedule your free estimate, or go to babsrus.com. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. The best facial hair on the air. This is Bishop and Friends.
You know, I wonder if with all of this, ACC supports 24 teams, and now the Big 12, they both support the 24-team format. ESPN is going to push back bigly. SEC is going to push back bigly. I wonder if, like, the Big 12 and the ACC really think that the Big 10 and SEC are going to be, like, give them automatic bids. Like, do they really think they're going to play nice with them? Of course they're not. Like, you think you're going to get the same amount of automatic bids as those two conferences? You're not. You're not. It's going to help your bottom feeder, maybe one bottom feeder, but you're still going to be 2-1 at a discrepancy versus those conferences. It's just hard to imagine another way. Reese, what do we have on the poll today?
Daily Fan Pool sponsored by JT's Pizza and Pub. It asks, did the Columbus Blue Jackets make the right move re-signing Charlie Coyle to a 6-year, $36 million deal? 80% say yes.
Sure. Yeah. Likeable guy. Wants to be here. Was really good when he was here. Yeah, I got no problem with that. All right, time for you're officially endorsed. Hit it, guys.
Bishop and Friends present First Friday, officially endorsed, because everyone deserves 2 Fridays.
You drink for the wrong reasons. My generation, we drink because it's good, because it feels better than unbuttoning your collar, because we deserve it. We drink because it's what men do.
All right, your officially endorsed comes today courtesy of Bake. So he goes, I got something for you, and I like it, and I think you ought to try it. So it is a John J. Bowman single barrel. So I had not previously had this lovely elixir. I hadn't had it before. To be honest with you, Bake, this was kind of my feeling. To me, it tasted a lot like Blanton's. It had a lot of the similar tasting notes of Blanton's, except it's a little hotter. This one comes at 100 proof. Blanton's at 93. So if I'm comparing something to Blanton's, which is how I got into bourbon in the first place, that means I liked it a lot. I thought it was really nice. I liked it to open up a little bit, so I let it sit on the rock. I had it right away neat, and then I tried it a little bit after the rock opened it up a little bit, and then it really got you all of those sweet dessert in a tumblers that you love so much with the glass. I thought it was a delight. Thank you, buddy, and certainly worthy of your officially endorsed on this fine First Friday. Very good.
It's one of my favorite new pours that I've tried here probably in the last 6 months or so, and it was something that you couldn't get in Ohio. Like the guy that I know that had it, got it. He was going to Michigan and getting it. Yeah. And then I just happened to start going into that store every Saturday morning, and there it was on the counter. So
it's dang good, and I did get a lot of Blanton's notes to it. There was a lot of similarities between the two. So if you like Blanton's, well, don't get this one because Bake still wants to be able to buy it. So, but it's a good one. It's worthy of your officially endorsed. Time for three things. Hit it, guys.
1, 2, 3 things.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. For all your roofing, gutter, or siding needs, call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, number one for me. The email that I got from my good buddy Jason Knapp on sanitary and how to handle dropping a deuce at work and the issues that had happened that we have in the facility. Number one, I don't ever play road games, as it were, unless it's an emergency. So the only way I'm doing a road game is if things have gone very bad at lunch, something unforeseen happens. That's the only way I'm playing a road game. I'm mourning and it's done. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. You could set the clock by it, the way that it works for me. Okay? So if the culprit here apparently was dude wipes, so if you're just packing around I've been in this bathroom, there are no dude wipes available. There are no wipes available. So if you're packing around some sort of a wet wiping thing, you may have a digestive issue beyond the norm. So that we got a lot of issues there. Number two, this problem, which is a real problem, we're on septic here. This is why every bathroom in the house has a bidet. When we built the house, we did bidet on everything because I'm not going to. I wasn't going to go back to just plain dry. I'm not going back to dry. I'm not doing it anymore. So now that it's my responsibility, everybody's got a bidet. Less toilet paper, less waste. Let's go. There's a lot of questions I have with this.
So we all got the same email.
That's right.
And I got it yesterday. I'm in for our commercial production director this week, and I wasn't in the building when all of this was happening. I do play away games.
You do?
The dude wipes are a detail brush. They are not to do the work. They are also not to be flushed, despite what the packaging says. I know I annoy a lot around here, and I think for the last couple of years, almost to the frequency, Bo, of the gray sleeves on the jerseys, I have said, dude wipes, do not flush them. They say flushable wipes. They are not flushable wipes. The only thing that should be going in the toilet, here, home, anywhere, are what you do and toilet paper.
Yeah.
Everything else goes in the trash can. And with the dude wipes, they're detailers. So they can go in the trash can because it's only for detail work.
So
they're closers in your scenario. They're closers.
They're your closer.
They're your closers.
Bunch of animals here. Yeah. Ridiculous how some of you behave.
So I will make this my first thing. The way we have just talked about this subject with road games and detail brush and closer, like I don't think that we could have tap danced cleaner around a dirtier situation than we just have. So kudos to us. And also somehow, some way, Adam King has to be involved in this, whether it's like a wipe for his face and makeup, or Adam King's involved somehow.
100%.
So I wonder.
King is a culprit. There's no question that he carries him around in his satchel.
Like, Dude Wipes might have taken a stray in this, too.
Well, just because I think they become, it's kind of like Band-Aid, right?
Sure.
Or, you know, like
I just
that's
shudder to think what else is flushed by you Neanderthals.
What is it, like everything's a Coke?
Yeah,
Doesn't matter what kind of...
That's what I think. They become that, is kind of that. Number 2 for me, so remember a couple weeks ago when Bootsy was concussed and he was out for a week and all of these things. So yesterday they played the same team that he was concussed against. And boy, was revenge served sweetly for young Bootsy. Got a little hat trick, got a little 4-goal win. It was pretty sweet. It was a sweet little how do you like me now for young Bootsy. So he had a fun moment last night.
Second thing for me, I'm off for the next couple of days, going to see Sonic Temple Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm going to try to stay up. Sunday night is Dragon Force and Death Clock, and those who've played Guitar Hero 2 know. Friday's pretty fun for Everclear, Lit, Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, my God.
A lot of fun to be had over the next couple of days. So I'll be out today or tomorrow, Friday, and Monday. You'll be in better and bigger hands, Joshua Perry, on the program.
Enjoy it, buddy. Boy, that's like my college. Is that tomorrow night? Is basically
that'll
my
be
college.
Friday.
Friday night. Yeah,
Yeah, I think Friday night is like a late '90s, early 2000s alternative dream.
Yeah, that's my.
So
college
that's right
years.
in our alley there, our sweet spot. Second thing for me, because it doesn't look like we'll have time for 3. Rothman and Ice coming up next. Bobby in again, second time this week. He's in for Matty Ice. They'll talk to Adam Schefter at 12:30.
I'll do a collective 3 for all of us. Cheers to you, Ohio State. Gray is back. We all win. The drink is going to taste a little sweeter tonight. Good job out of everybody involved. We're back tomorrow. Bishop and Friends right here on The Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, The Fan, Ohio Sports.